Welcome into a very special edition of One-on-One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show. It's Women's History Month, so of course, we have an all-women's crew. Very exciting. I'm Gabby Price, joined by Isabella Terracini, Lydia Perner, and Grace McCarran with approximately, 15, 16 more wonderful WFUV sports women in the back. There's a lot going on, 13, and we're going to hear from everyone on the show today. So that's pretty exciting. And I think, you said it best before we started, Isabella. It kind of feels like summer camp.
I mean, everybody's sitting on the floor. Everybody's just chatting it up. It's 11 a.m. People got here at 9:30, and just immediately vibes were high. It's the start to a good Saturday. We're starting it off strong. We've got another really busy day today. Sláinte, Irish night tonight. Just
the St. Patrick's Day celebrations just don't end.
Yeah. They never can end throughout all of March.
Yeah, true. And I think we have to give two shout outs. One, we were just talking before, this is the largest group of women that WFUV Sports has ever seen on a show also. So some history that we're part of. Pretty cool. And also, Isabella, this is your first one-on-one? She's in year 3 of her tenure in the station.
First?
And this is her first one-on-one. So much happening today.
I just getting up at 9 in the morning, being here at 9 in the morning. It's a big ask, but I will do it for the women of this station. And Bobby just told us that 13 years ago, there was only one woman on this station, and now tons.
Now we dominate.
Now, literally, we're so much better than the men.
Not and only in numbers, we're the fun. We're the whimsical. We're the funny.
We're the social chairs. We're the beat reporting advisors.
We're everything.
Content.
Back up, man.
We just take it all.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kurt. With so much love.
Did we shout out Kurt?
We do. We should shout out Kurt. Kurt Sippel is our producer extraordinaire.
2 years in a row on the women's show.
2 years in a row.
It's becoming a tradition.
He's basically a woman by now, and he actually did just turn 21 yesterday. So everybody,
happy birthday, Kurt.
Should we sing him a little song?
Yeah, ready?
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
I hope you guys are singing back there.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kurt. Cozy. Yeah, that works. Happy birthday to you.
Wow.
Yay. And on the first day of spring, too. It's a gorgeous day outside.
Yeah. Today's the first day of spring?
No, yesterday was the first day of spring. Kurt brought spring, if you didn't know. He invented it when he came out of his mom's womb. Francis, if you didn't know. Spring just came to fruition somehow.
I mean, Francis has been on our shared photo album.
Yeah,
so.
Francis is in our
for
shared
all the prep for the show, Francis was.
There's a lot going on in that shared photo album.
So shout out. No, it's honestly, I feel like the fact that yesterday was the first day of spring and then we made the summer camp. What was better when you were younger than pulling up on a Monday morning, beautiful just
so
weather, just being at summer camp?
It's early. It probably is 9 a.m. The grass is a little dewy.
It's a little,
it's a lot of damp.
You can smell it in the air.
Yeah.
And all your friends, whether it's sleepaway or day camp, just a great start to the day. And honestly, I'm so glad that this mic was broken today because then Isabella and I get to sit within well, there is no inch. We're on top of each other.
Yeah, we are on top of each other.
I mean, what better for your first show than to get to share a mic with me and sit right next to me, right?
Damn, I don't even get my own spotlight.
I mean, we could count shoulders. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that.
Wow. Wow. I mean, take notes. That was
yeah,
sweet.
no, literally. Come on, man. Take notes.
Yeah. You know what? There's not all men's show. Guess why?
Yeah.
Literally what?
That's why.
Because we're just so much better.
Yeah.
We just got it in us.
Well, Women's History Month.
Yeah.
You have to
it's not a competition when we're just better.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
When we're just running away with it.
We get our own show.
Yeah.
We get our own show and our own month.
Yeah.
True.
Facts.
Own month is pretty big.
But honestly, we should celebrate each other the whole year.
When you think about having this show, Women's History Month also being in March, and we're a sports talk show, pretty good month.
Great month.
Pretty good month to be able to have this show because
maybe the
March,
best.
as we know,
is
pretty stacked.
It's
pretty stacked month.
So much madness.
It's so angry. You have no idea how angry March is. I mean, 32 games over the past 2 days and just NCAA, and then so much more to unfold.
I mean, just so much more. Just break down the show a little bit.
What a segue.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That was
Gabby.
so
That's a season
beautiful.
pro right there. That's a season pro.
Listen, I didn't really. It kind of just came naturally, you know.
She's
Like,
been doing this a longer time than I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. After 2 weeks, it's
yeah, my second show in a row. Like it's just
Shout
like
out.
it's easy now. Like no, I'm just kidding. No, it's not. But we do have an incredible show lined up today. With a rotating cast of hosts, of course. We'll check in with the madness happening on the hardcourt before getting into some NBA talk. You guys see that the Nets depleted roster almost beat the Knicks. What a world
Not
we
happy.
live in.
What a world.
What a world
New
we live
York
in.
City
Happy
we live in.
that what a Friday night. But then we'll slide over to the ice where Lydia Perner is going for a new world record of how many times she can mention Will Cooley in one segment. So
probably a lot.
you
A
won't
lot.
Probably a lot.
like
Honestly,
I think you
I
could
might
break your
have the
record today.
and I'd probably have to break my own record.
No, I think that's exactly
Yeah.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I'm really personally excited to listen to that one. And I'm gonna try and count, but I think you could be like
Well, it's
you
already
could
been
be banging them
mentioned.
out like too
Yeah.
quickly for even me to catch up. But then we'll serve up some tennis talk, Miami Open shout out, before switching it up and checking in with happening on the Diamond. Grace will be on that segment.
Yes.
Big stuff. And then we'll check in with what's happening in the wild world of women's sports. Shout out that CBA that just got figured out. Very interesting stuff there. And then we'll close out with some Indy 500 talk. So you're going to want to be tuned in this entire time.
Do not take a break.
Do not take a
Get
break.
your snacks now because
Keep that
you're
YouTube
gonna wanna
stream
be dialed the
open.
rest- and even like in the breaks, we have content. So
Hey,
like,
true.
do
Yeah.
not get off the couch.
We should mention that this show, we put so much effort into getting all of the sounds, you're not going to be probably as much listening to traditional
Yeah.
breaks like in what you've heard in the past. We've incorporated interviews that our fellow women at the station have done to showcase that. And yeah, you're going to hear player sound throughout the coaches sound, all of that. We really put in the extra mile for this show. So.
Yeah, I
As
mean,
women
yeah.
often do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
go
true.
the
I
extra
think
mile.
it's a good shout out though. Like we did put a lot of work into
Yeah.
the show, and so like please, we're
And to have the
We're
rotating
already-
hosts,
yeah.
and the fact that everyone
fire.
like
Showed up
we
this
were
morning.
saying, like there's big numbers. We had a lot of people show up last year, but this year, like me, Grayson, shout out Annabelle Watson, we
Mhm.
kind of us three were on like the bulk of the show last year,
Mhm.
not on purpose, just the way it worked out. But
Yeah.
this year we've gotten it so that nobody actually has to dominate the show. Everyone's getting on. Everyone's in at least a segment. So it's not even like we're just putting everyone in to have their voice heard. Like everyone's getting in,
Yeah, no, I
and
think,
everyone
like,
showed up too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like having this amount of
It's
people.
awesome.
It's not just we have now half the station is woman. Like it takes a certain level of buy-in
Mm-hmm.
to be
Yeah.
able to put on something like this. So it actually is like genuinely very cool to see that like people are bought into this show and what we do here at the station. And it's cool. I think even as Isabel and I are seniors, like to see like where we start, like where we started and mocks literally 3 years ago, and now that it's because the woman show, even our first year here, it was like,
its second year, and it was like just
we
a
were on it
thing.
together, Grace.
Yes. Oh that was my first ever one-on-one.
And this is
Me
my first
too.
ever one-on-one.
Crazy. Guys,
Crazy.
this is crazy. And
Well,
you
there's
know what?
something about the
Full
women's
circle.
show that's
tradition
just so
continues.
magic.
That's so beautiful.
That's what I think is so awesome about the women's show, though. It's like just because of the timing in March. Like, I mean, I was in Mox last year. You guys were in Mox a couple years ago.
Mhm.
This is like the first show where it's like we don't really like nobody cares what your status is at the station, how tenured you are. If you're gonna show up, like we're gonna get you on the mics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know you're gonna do a good job, type of thing. So I think that's what's like, because sometimes it can it's like first day of the job, first day anywhere.
Yeah.
It's intimidating to walk
is
into somewhere
intimidating.
new for the first time. But like
Absolutely.
here, no, that's what the women's show is for, just to
Yeah.
have that camaraderie. And like literally, there was like we were saying, there was like probably 4 seats available, and everyone's sitting on the ground in a circle because like why not?
Yeah.
So,
Everybody
I
just
mean-
loves each other, and they're just so excited to be here on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday in the Bronx. But they just wanted to hang out in the basement of Keating for some reason, just like kiki with each other at 9 a.m. And I respect it, and I love it, and I was here too.
This is probably the earliest I've showed up for a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had so much to do this morning.
That alarm clock
Yeah,
usually
we're
like
busy.
accidentally snoozes through call time. Today I was like,
Nope.
Can't-
Up
can't
and
have
at 'em.
it.
Yeah.
I
Well,
I
your
saw her-
alarm is definitely set for like 15 minutes before call time, and then you're like,
usually my
"Snooze."
alarm is call time.
My alarm was
But
call
today was
time until
8:30.
she-
Today was
until she told
8:30.
me
We got that. I mean,
Yeah.
someone should clip that. Like,
Yeah.
I show up though.
Yeah.
You do show up.
Hey, you know what? She's always here when
Yeah,
the
you
mics
should-
go hot.
You don't
so.
want me showing
Hey,
up,
true.
like, you know, that 15 minutes extra of sleep really makes a difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
You guys have to be around me, so it's I'm just doing it for you.
No,
you
yeah,
know?
we're grateful actually. we're grateful. Yeah, no,
yeah, that
no,
works
hey,
for me.
no problems there. As long as you show up.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I'm here. I'm ready to
All
talk
four
about
of us
real coolly.
showed up. We're all the leadership on the women's leadership, so it's just like excited to be here with y'all, even though it's our last women's one-on-one. We're
That's
excited.
crazy.
Yeah.
Mm.
I hate
I
it.
like the Titanic theme song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, play the CBS. Dun 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 dun
No, that's
dun
like-
dun.
No, that's
dun.
too
hype.
exciting. Yeah.
You need
Yeah,
like the-
We're
because we're
sad.
about to go on to like one of our best days ever. We've got
That's
a
true.
lineup of events after this. I mean, I really hope postmortem is short so that all of our events after this can just like, you know, come to fruition and we can be on time to the rest of our day.
Isabella's
Launch
first and
it.
last time on the mic.
Launch.
No wonder
so
she
it
has
is
not.
Isabella's first,
Yeah.
literally first time on one-on-one.
All right, so we should be honest on the radio, but not too honest.
Yeah.
She's like, well, that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like,
Honesty is the best policy.
Fair enough. Fair
What
enough.
a stacked day, a stacked
You guys
show.
see that short postmortem?
Short postmortem.
In case you didn't hear it the first
In case you did not hear it the first time.
As we have like 20 people sitting.
Yeah.
You know what? They're either listening or they're still kikiing. We have no idea.
Maybe both. Why not
Yeah.
both?
Yeah.
Yeah, why
one,
not both?
one ear for
Yeah.
each.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got two.
Ooh, yeah.
Everyone's got 2 ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I feel like I have none with. I have selective listening.
Yeah.
That's
It's
okay
really
too.
bad.
Oh, hey,
Oh.
are we gonna be honest or too honest?
Well, you've already been really honest.
Yeah.
before,
So I feel like I've opened up the gates.
Yeah, let's
I've
just
opened up the
everyone,
floor.
everyone
Everyone
share everything.
Say what they want.
Yeah.
There's no rules anymore. We're all women. We're all girls. Like we can just do what we
It's-
want.
It's one big happy family.
It's
Like,
one
we
big
are.
happy
We are
family.
one big happy.
Yeah.
family.
We
Yeah.
are. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like
Say what-
the motto
say
of
what
our
you feel.
station, right?
Yeah.
Like we're one big happy family.
We are one big happy family.
But yeah, I think we started the show off with a bang. Good
Yeah.
work, guys. Your first intro segment, Isabel. Yay.
First intro segment.
wait to
We've
hear
already
from
had Will
you.
Cooley mentions. Like, we're,
Yeah, like
yeah,
it's
we're good.
it's
Already had,
a
like,
great
3.
day.
It's gonna be a great
It's
show.
a great Saturday, perfect for women, perfect for listeners, wherever you are in the world. Stay tuned.
And you know what?
Big
It's
show
also
coming up.
perfect for callers.
Yeah.
If you're so
Yes.
inclined,
Yes.
please give us a ring at 718-817-2750. Have some fun with us. Celebrate Women's History Month.
Yeah.
But that'll be it for our little intro segment. When we come back, lots of sports talk. We have Isabella back on the mic with Maggie Danahy and Kate Cox to get into everything in the March Madness world, so stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Kate Cox, and I'm here with WFUV Sports, asking women's sports athletes here at Fordham University what it means to be a woman in sports. What's your name?
I'm Chloe Tremendillis,
And what sport are you on?
Fordham softball.
And what does it mean to be a woman in sports here at Fordham?
It honestly means everything to me. We have a great coach that gives us the most support out of everyone that I've ever had. She is a woman, so she knows how it is, and it can be difficult to be a woman in sports, but she supports us, and I feel that at Fordham, she provides a lot for us, and it's great.
What is the sisterhood like on your team?
It's everything to us. We have such a great bond, such a great culture, family over everything on our team, and they literally are sisters to us. I can call every single one of them my family member.
And today on National Girls and Women in Sports Day here at Fordham, what are you most excited for hanging out with all these young girls?
I'm just excited to inspire them, let them know they can be whoever they want to be, show them that they can be confident no matter how young they are, that even though if they are a girl, and just excited for them to look forward to their future.
What is your name?
Hi, I'm Sophie Nestorick,
And what is your sport?
softball.
All right. At Fordham, what would you say? Oh, sorry.
You did sound good.
Thanks. Okay. At Fordham, what does it mean to be a woman in sports?
I think it means everything. I mean, if you go through history, men have been like the main like people for sports. So with women, I feel like it's awesome to see like the uprising of people watching or like starting to play. And personally, like I get to meet all my best friends and play with them every day. So yeah.
What is the sisterhood like on your team?
Oh, it's everything. We're always together, always going to the CAF together. We're always together constantly, especially in season. It's even better, but off season too, like we're always together. It's awesome.
And lastly, on National Girls and Women's Sports Day here at Fordham, what are you most excited about playing with all these young girls?
I get to see like how excited these girls are. I mean, watching them like want to be here is awesome, and hopefully they'll continue to do that for the rest of their lives. So, yeah, and put an impact on them, which is good too.
Thank
So, yeah,
you.
of course.
Welcome back to All In, New York's longest call-in show, and it is Saturday, March 21st, aka the Day of Women at WFUV. That's right. We're back to the all-women's crew, including Kurt Sipple, freshly 21, and we are here to talk some madness. It's been an absolute, last few days on the hardwood. We've got some crazy upsets in terms of men's March Madness. Later, you'll hear some women's March Madness. But for now, let's focus on the round of 64 that we just witnessed. Some crazy upsets. I know y'all have seen it too. Kate, Hope, and Maggie, y'all are here. Thank you for showing up this early on a Saturday. I know it's been a lovely few days, and now we're back in the stew. We're back to talking about basketball, and I just want to hear, what have you thought of the round of 64 so far?
It has been incredible. Like, the best thing about this, honestly, is that my friends are watching basketball with me.
Yeah.
And that is like, that
Yeah.
never happens throughout the year. It's just me. I watch it alone. No one cares. And now I have literally everyone involved, and it's amazing. And it's like, we have a bracket. We're playing for a Jellycat, which is really fun.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's super exciting. And yeah, I mean, it's just been so fun to watch because all my friends are like involved, which never really happens. But I have watched essentially every game in the last 2 days.
Has there been a standout game like that
Kentucky,
okay.
Santa Clara.
like you just went to sleep and like you woke up and you're still reeling from it?
Oh, I've been thinking about it since the moment I watched it happen. Actually, it is like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I texted my whole family and I was like, or my basically everybody knows, I was like, I cannot go to class. Like, Kentucky just hit the 3 to send it to overtime. Like, my acting professor, I was like, hey, should I tell him that like March Madness is on and like I won't be in class? And they're like, he won't care. And I missed Tuesday too, so I did unfortunately go to class. Did miss that last overtime, but I heard it was magical.
it was insane. Like, for that to all happen within 3 seconds.
Right?
Crazy.
Like 2.6
yes,
seconds
seconds.
on the clock.
From the logo,
Are
it was
you
insane.
serious?
It was
Mind
insane.
you, like, Santa Clara was trying to call a timeout, but they went too fast, and it was perfect. Mind you, it was like not a good shot either. And the fact that it went in was like,
no,
That's March. That is
it
March
was
for you.
not a good shot. Like, he was just Hail Mary trying to get it up
And
in the air
that
before
is
the
March.
clock went down, and somehow it went in. And the faces of the Santa Clara players standing watching it, genuinely, like, that brought me joy. Because I did pick Kentucky to win, so I was like, I need this to happen. And then, of course, they proved their worth in overtime. But, like, if they had not won in overtime, I would have been so mad. Like, that shot wouldn't have mattered.
I think what was cool is that like you saw the Santa Clara side of the gym jump up, and then all of a sudden you see the Kentucky side jump up. It was so good. It was so good.
Like, I feel like just this year in general, like, last year was, like, boring. Like, last year, March was not mad. March was boring. Like, top 4 seeds making it to the end.
Yeah,
It was just, like,
was boring.
Cinderella's felt dead, and this year I feel like Cinderellas are back, which has been nice. And even games that, like, even the Siena-Duke game, it was like, okay, maybe Siena didn't come out on top, but, like, that was a good game. That was so fun to watch, and, like, there was a chance. Like, the hope was there, and I feel like that's, like, the fun in it, where I feel like there wasn't that much fun in it last year.
Yeah, I think for that game, my sister is a senior at Siena. She plays lacrosse there. And so I've spent so
Yes.
much time at that
Yes.
school. And it's such an amazing place. Like, it's such a little family. So the fact that I have Duke winning in my bracket, but I would have gladly had my whole bracket busted for them to win. Because I love that school, and like it's just like the best. It was so great, especially like, the whole athletic department there. Everyone was so excited, and for them to like really put their name on the map like that is like such a great thing for that school.
Right, 4 local schools this year.
Yeah.
It's the most
New
in a
York.
very long time. It's the most New York schools in a very long time. And that's just so cool to see. I wish we were in it, of course, but
Yeah.
it's cool to see like other schools in the area that
It's
are
cool
there.
to see the A10 kind
That's
of
what
take over.
our
And the
A10.
A10.
Like,
Can we talk about the A10? So here's the thing: is I had VCU winning, so
I didn't.
Thank God.
Thank God.
I did not have St. Louis winning that
I
game.
do.
That game was, I think, the craziest thing I've ever watched.
Insane.
Because
Insane.
what do you mean you beat them by that much? Like,
That's
Georgia.
what I'm saying.
Mind you,
Georgia.
they were playing Georgia, the University of Georgia, known for their athletics.
It is crazy.
How much
much
money is their
Georgia
athletics
so much
department
money.
money?
There is so much money in the SEC. There is so much money at Georgia, and you
This small
lost
Jesuit
to
school.
St. Louis. You lost to St. Louis, mind you. I didn't
Kareem
have St. Louis winning.
Abdul-Jabbar
Yes,
and
literally.
Robbie Avila, he is just a beast on the court. And honestly, I can see how he took down Georgia. It was really the way that he played. He kept it so concise. He kept it so consistent throughout the game, making those key shots. I mean, I get why they call him Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
I understand
They
it.
also call him Larry Nerd. Which
Yes.
is my personal
Yes.
favorite, of course, but also just like he does look like a nerd. But
And I
he's
love it. And his
he's
name is
so
Robbie.
good. He's so good. I remember watching him when they played at Fordham. And it was just like,
Who is this guy? Who is this
Wow.
guy? Why is he not on Georgia? Instead,
Wow.
he's beating
Exactly,
Georgia
exactly.
in the round of 64.
He
Georgia
probably
did
will
not.
be on Georgia or Georgia like school next
yes,
season.
by almost like 30 points,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Insane game. Never saw it coming. It was I just genuinely did not see that coming, especially because St. Louis did not play well against Dayton in the A10 semifinal. St. Louis got a bid without getting the automatic bid from the A10 championship like VCU did. And so in the end of the regular season, they lost to George Mason, Dayton, and Rhode Island within the last 2 weeks of the season. So like St. Louis had such a great season until like that last 2 weeks. So I didn't really know where it was going to go. And then for them to have that game, like they could win the next round.
Yeah.
Which
They
is
can. They can
crazy,
go. They
which
can
is
go to
actually
the
crazy.
Sweet 16. And that is what I
And I think
am honestly
VCU
all
could
about.
too. I think VCU could too.
We said it. Boom. We said it.
Because beating UNC, I know their star player was out, but that team is still to its core like so strong. So beating them is just genuinely like that's putting them on a heater. Like they're ready to go. I think the A10 is going to prove itself this year,
I think
which
the A10
is great.
like on something
Yes.
this year, and I feel like all year with Fordham basketball, we talked a lot about just like the A10 is so good, and I think
Yeah.
this like we were saying that, and like obviously I believed it, but like this put into perspective so much like how good A10 basketball is. Two teams that like had very good games, like the VCU UNC game was sick. Awesome.
Yeah.
And like UNC's basketball school. Like
Yep.
It's a
UNC
blue
is
blood.
such a
It
basketball
has
school.
been a blue
Historically,
blood since
yes.
the get-go. Like you know UNC and you think of basketball.
Yeah.
Sorry you don't think of Drake May. I know I'm sitting here with
Three
three
Drake May fans.
three of you and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Sorry, when you think of UNC, you think of basketball."
Personally, I think of Drake
I
May.
think of Drake May.
I just always think of Drake.
I just always think, I
Okay,
just
well, y'all
always
are
think
just
of
Maybe
obsessed.
that.
you think of basketball. I think of I
But
think
I
of Drake
the
May and Michael
general
Jordan.
population is thinking of basketball. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
see what you mean. Like we did on the Hill all year. We have talked about how good the A10 is, both with the women and the men. Speaking of, Rhode Island women play Alabama today, and I
Yeah,
genuinely
big
think
one.
that they can win that game
Because you know what?
and be the first upset of the tournament.
Atlantic 10 versus SEC. What's the record right
The
now?
record's pretty good right now.
1-0. Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what?
It's just like it's awesome to see what we felt like we were seeing all season actually become a reality. Of
It's just anything can
them
happen in
proving
March.
exactly.
Anything can happen
But
in
it's also
March.
just like we were thinking, oh, they're the underdogs. Like clearly they're not the underdogs because they've been good all season. I think St. Louis was underplayed in the bracket. I think that they were a lower seed than they should have been. And I think this game proved that.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
also just love seeing teams that didn't get the automatic bid, like getting another chance,
Yeah.
and like
Yes.
seeing what they can do, and
They're
like in the
proving
bright lights
themselves.
they can do it,
Yes.
which is awesome.
Yeah, and that's like the actual storyline, I think, of March Madness. It's about the upsets. It's not really about if you pick a winner in your own bracket. Like the way that I see it, I'll make my bracket and then I will completely forget about it, and I will be like, I'm rooting for the underdog. Even if Houston, my hometown, is number one, I'm like, I'm gonna root against Houston on the low. But like, is Houston still gonna be my champion every single year until the day that I die? Yeah. But if they get beat, I hope it's by a lower seed.
I love an underdog.
I love
and
an
I've loved
underdog.
an underdog in every single
Yes.
sport.
Same.
in everything.
A
It
Cinderella
just
story
makes a
has
story.
become so much it doesn't happen anymore because of NIL.
Yeah,
really.
and
like
that's
the
like a
last
big
few
argument.
years, It just hasn't really happened. And this year, it's obviously it hasn't happened yet, but we are seeing some really big upsets that like could lead into a Cinderella story. St. Louis is playing Michigan, number 1 seed. That's going to be a huge game. And VCU is playing Illinois, who a lot of people have argued should have been the 2 seed or even the 1 seed.
Yeah.
So I think they're both going to have really, really difficult games in this second round, which I think they both play today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Saturday. We'll keep you updated once those games start.
Very
Just
exciting.
like throw in a few there.
Yeah.
I do want to update our WFUV March Madness bracket.
Mm.
Our final
I'm
forecasters.
second.
You're second?
Yep.
Wait, okay, brag about that.
Brendan's bracket is ridiculous, by the way.
Let's see.
Is he first?
He's first right now.
He's only had 2 things wrong, but
Yep. his entire
I'm in second now, but I won't be because the teams that I had that lost in the round of 64,
You
I
also
had going
further?
to the Elite 8.
Oh.
I had BYU because AJ and I Boston kid, and I had UNC and
Like no one had VCU. Like literally
Nobody.
nobody
That was
had
a
VCU.
sneak. That was
Yeah.
a sneaky.
God,
That
and
was
I
a dark
I'm
horse.
embarrassed
That's
about
not true
it.
though,
That's a
because
dark horse.
VCU was the most common upset on all brackets.
No, I thought that
Whoa.
I
That was
thought
the most
Oh.
a
common
lot of
upset.
people, including myself, had that UCF, US, yeah, US.
UCF over UCLA, right?
No,
The Bulls. The
the
Bulls.
the green one, Florida, South.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
USF.
USF, yeah. A lot of people, including myself, I just had like the absolute most brain like
You know what? It's
relapse.
It's 11:30 in the
Lapse.
morning. Forget it. It's the women's show. We still love you.
Yeah.
And we support women here. So
And
we
we support women, so like we'll support your crash out if you
Yeah.
have it on the air.
Thank you
You'll
so
hear
much.
a lot more crash outs today.
Um,
We've got hockey coming
yeah.
up too.
My brain
But
just
we're
stopped
not
working.
But we're not
But
there
a
yet.
lot of people had that upset, that 11 seed, and I had that. So that kind of
Yeah.
it's a big upset. But I forget what the third one I had going to the Elite 8, but the third thing I had lost, I had going to the Elite 8. So I probably won't be in second for much longer,
put
but
BYU.
BYU.
You love your BYU. Unfortunately, my Longhorns just
Yeah.
they didn't let it happen. And there's a lot more about
My
BYU that we
worst
can talk
pick
about.
was Wisconsin.
Yeah. That was everybody's worst pick.
I indeed
High
had
Point-
Wisconsin going not to the Elite 8 because I had them losing to Arizona, but I had them going to the Sweet 16. And that is going to lose me some points.
Who do you have winning it all?
I have Florida winning it all.
Okay.
Mm,
Which,
going back to
can
back.
we think about what just happened last night? Am I wrong? No. They beat them by so much.
Yeah.
Like, literally by half.
Wow. I didn't make a bracket actually because I don't like to be
Wow.
wrong. So it's
That's
too
a
much
pretty
pressure.
good reason.
It's
like
too
I'll
much
respect
pressure.
that.
You look at it.
But see, then you make the bracket and you immediately forget about it, and then you're
I-
like,
I
I'm just
can't.
watching.
I'm too
for the upset.
competitive.
Like I made the bracket, like the whole system for FUV, and I'm like, what in like
I'm too
20
competitive
something
and I love an
place?
upset, but I hate to be wrong, and so it's just like too much pressure and I can't do it.
I'm
But
in
I
23rd out of 26.
I think U of A will win
that's
it all.
that's how I'm going. Whoa.
U of
UVA?
U of A.
Oh.
Bear down, Arizona.
Oh, duh.
Obviously.
duh.
Duh,
Okay,
duh.
that's good. That's a good take, too. I think it'll
Yeah.
be Florida or Arizona. Just based on
don't
the
know.
last two
One
games
of
that
our
they
very
played.
own WFUV Ryan DePulta has SLU winning it all.
And that's A10
Wow.
basketball.
And you
That's
know
awesome.
And
You
you
know
know
the
what? I
bonus
support
Fordham
that.
would get
I
if the
support that.
if the
I
A10
support
won?
that. I support that.
Wait, you got a good point there. You keep going on that. That's a good point.
All the schools in the conference that like get further,
Yeah.
like isn't that true?
I mean, it's just like more attention to the
Yeah.
A10, and like maybe this will prove
exactly.
that we like the A10 needs an auto bid and more. Like it shouldn't just be a two
It
bid
would
team.
be it would rub off on us for just being in the A10. There would be so much more eyes. It would be such a bonus for the A10, which would in turn be a bonus for Fordham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Couple of other updates. We have Emma Leonardi coming in at 3rd, Mary Hannah in 4th, and Gabby also tied at 4th.
So we need to get
Liddy-
Brendan out of there because it's all
it's
women.
not
otherwise.
happening. It's
Oh,
ridiculous.
don't even worry. Immediately, Lydia, and then we've got
So it's all
Vanessa
the
in
girls.
11th.
didn't
all
do
the
it,
girls.
by the way. Like
No, and then the
there's like a bunch of people missing.
there are a ton of hey. She's just eating her sandwich
Bro.
outside. You know what? I love that for her. Enjoy your sandwich, babe.
And this is the
Yeah,
one show where
yeah.
everyone can eat a sandwich.
And
if they
everybody
wanna
can
eat
eat
a
a
Yeah.
sandwich, drink their coffee in the studio.
She's staring at us really weird right
She's
now,
really
though.
Because you know what? She
I'm
just loves
scared.
basketball. She should just hop in and talk to us about basketball too.
And
I
she's
know-
trying to talk now, and obviously we can't hear
Yeah,
her.
and we
so
were
I don't
just
know
talking
what she's
about-
trying to
Just
say.
her bracket is called Cooley's father-in-law, and she has Florida winning it all. And
Hey, okay.
Yep. And she's got it over Michigan and Arizona. She put into the Final Four. Just so you know that.
Fair enough.
I will
Yep.
say I will be moving to the Midwest because I got the entire Midwest right.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, there are some people in our bracket pool that have gotten like an entire region correct. Brendan has 2 full regions correct.
Yes.
Wow.
The only
that's,
thing
like,
that I
wild.
didn't
I have
get
Midwest.
Midwest was St. Louis. I didn't get. I chose Georgia. Other than that, I got the entire Midwest.
That's period.
Okay, do you guys have a guess on how many perfect brackets are left?
There are
there's, like,
200, 224
It's 200,
perfect brackets.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Boom!
Crazy.
Bang!
But it's going to be a lot less after today. I'm sure there's
I
going to be
hope.
way more
I
upsets.
hope.
It's going today. There's gonna be no more. I'm calling it.
It's like
Really?
it's gonna be exactly what you think it is. You think we're gonna
No,
take
no. There's
seed-
gonna be no more perfect brackets.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
I think there will
I
always
hope.
be.
No, last year they
perfect
got
bracket
wiped.
after the
last
second
year when it
round.
was so perfect, they were like wiped out early.
I think they made it to
Hmm.
like the Sweet 16 on perfect, and then like 2 games into this 2
I
or
think
3.
they'll make it to the Sweet 16.
Yeah,
If I could do one thing in this life, it would be make a perfect bracket.
Oh, same.
yeah.
If
'Cause
I
you hate
could,
being wrong.
if I
Like,
could
come
have
on.
that
Imagine, like-
versus like anything
No,
else in the
actually.
world,
I
that
could
is what
make
I
a
would
perfect
choose.
women's bracket. Although I clicked the wrong button this year, so I'm already out.
Aw.
I got South Dakota State, but I didn't pick it. So it's like
But, like,
I
mine would've
clicked
been
the wrong
perfect, but there
button.
was
But
an
I forgot the
administrative
but I
error.
clicked the wrong button.
No, but I would not have picked South Dakota State over. I
But-
don't even know who it was, Villanova or something. I wouldn't have picked
See,
it.
I tried to
clicked the
be
wrong
like
button.
niche with my
Yeah.
choices and try to pick some upsets, and obviously there have been 0 upsets in the women's tournament, which we will talk about later. But yeah, clearly I needed to be a little bit more, less niche about that, and more
But also,
mainstream of
it's-
like pick
it's
the
Mar-
higher bracket.
it's March.
But
It's March, and
March-
you can be niche, and you
But
can still be right at some
men's
points.
is like I would never choose the top seed for everything
No.
because you never know what's gonna
It's
But
happen.
then
March.
last year was all the top seeds. Like last year was terrible.
And I
But
think
not like
last
the
year kind of
first
set
round.
that kind of mentality of like,
Yeah.
oh, NIL has taken over Cinderella. They are no
Absolutely.
longer happening.
But I think there's more schools now. I think last year and the year before, it was those like higher density, like, the Georgia SEC, like Big 12, Big 10 schools that have a lot of
The
money.
Power
now
Four.
a lot of other schools have a lot of money too.
yes.
Like VCU has so much money in NIL. So does St. Louis. So does Dayton. Like those are schools like they have the money, and so in turn, it is placing them in a correct position. So now, like
gotta get on
now,
that one.
NIL is more. I think NIL is more mainstream now, like where
Ooh,
it's more
yeah.
accessible to more
Yeah.
schools, and so in turn, like the Cinderella story can come back because it's becoming NIL is becoming more of like an equal playing field versus when it was first coming in, it was more like only the certain schools like in the Power 4 conferences were able to like use that money, which I feel like now it's more accessible to everyone. Like everyone is using NIL here.
Yeah.
Like
a veteran team, and it always comes back to this, and it has this entire season. The level of expectation on this Knicks team, especially like for this year, for the season. Now that it's March 21st, like they have to lock in. The fact that it was great to see Towns have a good game with 26 points, 15 rebounds. He hasn't been the most consistent the past couple weeks. But it's just like I'm confused.
I'm also confused because I feel like we were saying, the lowest scoring team, like a few days ago, Wednesday, they scored 24 points in the half. That can't happen. That's genuinely like almost impressive.
This is the NBA. We have to be scoring 40 points a quarter.
At least. Like this is the big league.
Well, the Knicks had 22 turnovers. Like that.
Wow.
That is what I think killed them a little bit, and that's holding them back. But like their win probability going into the game was like 92%.
Yeah. Well,
I 92%,
think,
and by like the fourth quarter, I guess, like, because the Knicks only scored 18 points in the fourth quarter, and the Nets scored 27. So like that disparity is also crazy. Like the Nets could have won off of Ben Seraf's like, shot at the end. Obviously he missed it, but like that could have happened. And then you're the Knicks and you just lost to the Nets, who Kurt was saying earlier is basically a G League team right now.
I know it is.
Essentially, your starting five is basically a young G League team.
Here's my thing,
though. And you put up a
Knicks
huge
were
fight against
never
the Knicks.
losing to the Nets.
It looked like it.
It
looked
like
could
it,
have
but they were
happened.
never
Gabby.
going to lose.
It could have
It
happened.
looked
No.
like it. 1 point.
They lost. They won by 1 point, Gabby.
Yeah, but the Knicks are a team. The Knicks are a team. They'll lose by whatever 20 points to Dallas. They'll lose by 20 points to the Mavericks.
Yeah.
They'll lose to the Wizards. Whatever. They would not allow themselves to lose to the Nets.
But they almost did. Is the
That's
right,
the thing.
and that's the
How do you
concerning, but
get
I'm-
that close to losing to the Nets?
I'm just saying though, Kurt. By the way, jumping up and down behind the glass.
Mind you, Kurt and
with
I made
Isabella.
I've talked about this so many times, but Kurt and I made a bet that either the Nets or the Celtics are going to win the championship next year. Let's just say the Nets are not on track for that.
You made this.
Wow.
Yes, we did.
This
Did
feels,
you really?
Okay.
The Nets are on track.
Okay.
Is what Kurt
In
said.
1 year? Okay.
I mean, I could see.
I
them-
mean, on it, you should have made the bet for this year because
Clearly I should have made the
Clearly.
bet for this
Celtics
year
bet.
because
honestly, I mean, I can see them.
I'm-
like,
we're not
I'm
talking about
winning
Jason
it.
Tatum.
I'm
right now.
feeling very happy right now, just personally as a Celtics fan.
As a C's fan,
This
yeah.
is truly such an inspiring year for me, just to see this team step up in light of a huge injury and him being out, and now he's back, and let's just say we're coming for that crown, and
Wow.
Thunder's going down. So.
Honestly, like I could support that. I'm not a Thunder fan, and I have never claimed to be.
I
so would
actually
be
really
happy.
like the Thunder.
you
That's
would
the
want
thing,
the
is I like
Celtics
that
win?
team a lot.
Yeah.
I love those players. Like
Yeah.
that team, I want to be friends with all of them.
for OKC.
Yes,
I mean, like fair.
they're so fun.
They're
Yeah.
fun.
Also,
yeah, they're fun.
I literally think Jared McCain is the coolest person ever.
He's so cool.
Yeah,
I'm,
he's
a
I'm
great
a
follower.
fan
I
of
would
him.
love to sit on the bench with those guys and just chat
Awesome.
with them.
We can
and
make
just
that
chat with
happen,
them.
I'm sure.
Like that's how I feel
You
about
wanna ride the
OKC.
bench with
As the
Jared
team,
McCain.
I'm happy to ride the bench with all of them. Actually, all of them. They're so funny. Like they're genuinely funny.
Yeah, no, I mean they're very fun. But I will say, let's stop, move away from this like Celtic. We're getting to like scary territory right now. I just want to shout before we kind of dig into the Nets a little bit more. I was able to see Josh Hart's career night as a Knick this past week.
Yes.
Against the Pacers, he scored 33 points and
Insane.
went 5 from 5 from behind the arc.
Amazing.
It was
Very awesome.
electric. It was so much fun.
Absolutely electric.
And then he didn't play last night, so you know what? He if he was
So
on the
is he
floor,
the reason that they almost lost?
they did not lose. Stop almost saying
They
that.
almost lost.
Yeah, be 1 point. 1 point
This,
is evident
this
enough.
to me is a Knicks loss. like you won by
Yeah.
1 point to the
No,
Nets.
it's pretty
the
unacceptable.
Brooklyn Nets, who let me just read
Not
off
even
these
on a
stats.
back-to-back too. Like
The Nets are last in points per game. last in average field goals made, last in field goal percentage, third to last in 3-point percentage, last in defensive rebounds, and last in total rebounds. Like, at almost every stat you can think of as a team, they are last in, and the Knicks almost lost to them last night.
What do you think?
The
Debbie?
silence says a lot. The silence.
The
says a
silence
lot.
Not
speaks.
saying you're wrong. I'm also saying though that I can't think of a world where the Knicks would have allowed themselves to lose to the Nets.
But the thing
I don't
is,
even
they
think it's
got
about
so
the loss. I just think
close.
it's about them not being able to like put up a good game against a really, really bad team.
fair enough. Yeah, like
That's,
it,
like,
it was
my
so
thing.
close.
The Knicks are a team that do that though.
But they
We've
were
seen
not
it
last
throughout
night.
this season.
But like last night, they were unlocked. They were not dialed.
It's
I mean,
March.
but
They're
it's
scared by March.
I just said I was at the game where they lost the Mavericks. And that is
Yeah.
like also a team that the Knicks cannot be losing
Mind
to.
you, the Knicks are
They,
on a
like,
5-game
go
winning
through
streak,
this-
and we're like, they're so bad.
They need to lock in now.
No, I think they have kind of a crazy schedule coming up. Like, they're playing the Hornets, who are playing really good recently.
Yes.
The Thunder, the Rockets, the Grizzlies, the Hawks, the Raptors, the Celtics, like, and then the Hornets again. Like, this is
Yeah.
the next
Intimidating.
no,
the
it's
next-
a crucial stretch.
the
in
next
this
month
season.
is
Yeah.
very important for
Yeah.
them to like kind of prove themselves, especially now that like the Pistons are kind of in a way
Mhm.
like they kind of are like up in the air. You have no idea what's going to go on with them now that Cade's out, which is so sad because like this was their
Yeah,
year.
It was.
This was their year, and without him, like I don't think they can make it happen because he is
I
truly
mean,
like
he's
that
hopefully
driving
he can come back
force.
for the playoffs.
I don't think he can.
Yeah,
It's
I don't-
such.
They
it's
said
such
that
a-
They
he's
said
gonna be
he's
reevaluated
they said
in, like,
he's
2
like
weeks.
pretty much out for the season.
That's
Yeah,
like
that's
a
awful.
that's a
tough.
terrible injury too. That's
It's
not you know
awful.
it's not
It's
something that you can
awful.
really like rehab
No,
because
not at
it's an
all.
organ.
Yeah,
A collapsed
exactly.
lung, like that's
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
integral.
It's very different than like any other sort of thing.
100%.
So I think it opens up the East so much.
It does.
Like this is an
Yeah.
opportunity for the Knicks and the Celtics both to like
Yeah.
lock in and push themselves.
Maybe the
because
Bulls. No,
I
I'm
think
kidding.
the West because I think the West this
The
year
Bulls.
and
I had to get the Bulls.
Guys, I'm
shouted.
joking. I'm joking.
because I
guys.
think
I'm heartbroken.
I think the West this year and last year was just a much stronger contender in general than
Mhm.
the East has been. And so now that you have the Pistons who are arguably just like going to take the East
Mhm.
because both the Celtics and the Knicks have like not been able to beat the Pistons this year. Like have really
Yeah.
struggled to beat the Pistons, and you have this opportunity of like this now the East is like wide open.
Yeah.
Like you
It
have no
is.
idea what can happen.
I mean, for both those teams,
For both
now
teams.
a Pistons win is
Yeah.
crucial. I would
and
say.
obviously the Cavs are still in it, but the Knicks and the Celtics haven't really had an issue with the Cavs this year.
Yeah, I feel like they're not really that
No.
like formidable.
So like
right
they're
now.
behind there, of course. Like they have the only team that has clinched a playoff position in the East is technically the Pistons, but they're making the playoffs. Can they make a run in the playoffs at this point? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Mm.
It's,
Like
it's definitely
just
shaping
based
mean,
on
now-
losing Cade, just based on that.
Yeah.
I think
Like
I
it's
think
wide open.
the Knicks clinch playoffs though.
No,
I
they.
think. Yeah, I think like
the
those
Celtics,
top-
Knicks,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Cavaliers have clinched
now it's
play-in
about
positions.
seeding.
Yeah, it's about seeding.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now is like when you really want to like if the Knicks are not like a 2 or 3 seed, like
No.
it's cooked.
Like the West is crazy.
it's insane.
You have like it's insane. There's so much competition over there, and even the teams that are like maybe not as strong in anyone's eyes of like the Timberwolves and the Suns, who are technically like 6 and 7 in like the conference.
Don't laugh at
I'm-
that.
I just watched Izzy laughing at it,
the
and I was
jokes
like,
write
oh,
themselves,
damn.
guys. Come on.
I was
I'm
like,
a creature of
dang
habit. I
it,
need to
dang
laugh.
it.
I'm just a woman. I need to
But like
laugh.
that, like 1 through 7 of the Western Conference is like very, very, very competitive.
It is.
And the Eastern Conference, you can say like 1 through 3, 1 through 4 is maybe
Yeah.
competitive. So like it is wide open. This
Mhm.
is an opportunity for both the Knicks and the Celtics to like make a big run.
It is. 100%.
And so the Knicks need to beat the Nets by a lot more than 1
and
point.
they did.
By a lot more than 1 point.
Barely.
They
Barely.
did.
I just think these next, what is it, 9 games, I think, are just, or 11 games are just really important. Really
Yeah.
important. Especially because they're playing some pretty hot contenders.
Yeah.
Like, that's the time they've got to show out if the Knicks want this year.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be. Anyways, Izzy was at the Nets game this past week.
I was. It was awesome. I mean, like, in terms of, the end result, maybe it wasn't that awesome, but like I'm always so grateful to just like be beat reporting. I
And
think
you got
it's
to see
so
the
cool.
Thunder.
I did. I was face
That's
to
so
face
cool.
with Shay, and
Yeah.
people are asking me like, "Did you feel his aura?" And I'm like, I mean, like a
Yeah,
little,
probably.
I guess, kinda, I suppose. I don't know, but so pregame, I actually was able to ask Jordi Fernandez a question, and I asked him about how the energy has kind of shifted, or if there's been a change in the attitude since MPJ recently got injured, and with Yeager out for the rest of the season. So here is that sound.
What is the energy looking like for the team with MPJ's recent injury and Yeager out? Have you noticed like a shift in the attitude in any way?
No, and actually, if you look at the last few games where, we overcame 23-point deficit, 28, the other day we cut it to 15, 14, whatever it was in the fourth, I think it tells you that the competitiveness is there, the work to get better is there, and the day-to-day that you guys unfortunately cannot see, it's very good, and that's what we're trying to build. And a lot of times you got to find your own wins, and nobody else needs to know what that means to us, and we're not going to let you know, but we're getting through those steps, and it's very exciting because having a positive environment is extremely important, and I give credit to not just the players, the coaches, everybody around. You need that because sometimes you may have a bad day, and the rest of the people may have you have a better day.
So that was that. I like above all else, like I'm just a huge fan of Jordi Fernandez as a coach. I think he's a great coach. I mean, like obviously this season has not been the greatest for them, and especially with these injuries, it's not great for morale, but it does seem like when I'm watching the Nets, it seems like these players enjoy playing with each other, if that makes sense. I feel like maybe that can be attributed to how young they are and how like hungry they are to be playing in the NBA, like the biggest stage basically. But I mean, I feel like, like I said, this season has been not maybe what they wanted, but they are developing together, especially the young players, and they're integrating pretty well with the other players. So it's been great to see that even if they're not winning, it's been great to see how the players are like making each other better and making themselves better.
Yeah, I mean, I think like what you said, like about the injuries, even like MPJ being out, like that's what you want to see from this team right now, right? Like you're not necessarily competitive within your league, which is, it is what it is, but to be able to like speak on how they're developing as a team, when you do look ahead for the future, like, and being competitive, like that's when, like things turn around quick. Like one thing we've seen in this league, like things can turn around quick. It only takes, a little bit of chemistry, maybe one more person to kind of shape or change the way the team is able to operate in the league. So it's cool that you even got to speak to coach and be able to hear that right from him.
It's cool. It's surreal. Every single time I'm there, I'm like, oh my
Surreal.
gosh, wow, this is like, we're in it.
We're in it.
That's what I think the Nets have that's really strong is that they have those young guys.
They do.
And the player development has been really good, at least from what we've seen. Like they're able to step up now and kind of have like arguably your two best players this season are out, and you have to reevaluate of what you're going to do. And at this point, like if you want to tank, but you also have your young core who can now. I feel like the player development has been really strong with these young guys, and there is somewhere to go from here. Like you have Danny Wolf and you have Nolan Traore. Is that how you say his name? Traore?
I think he's French, but I don't know how to say the French
I wouldn't know how to say
pronunciation.
French.
That's okay.
pronunciation.
We'll
I
just
don't speak French.
Nolan Traore.
Yes, I feel like
There you go.
the two of them in
Rolled off the
particular
tongue.
have like stepped up this last month and like made some differences.
100%.
And in the game versus the Thunder, like Traore was doing that, and so was Jalen Wilson. Like I feel like the younger guys are starting to make an impact, which is really good for the future. So Kurt, it's possible. It's possible. You never know. The future might look bright, but I think it's looking brighter for the Celtics.
You guys should switch teams in this bet, because I'm assuming you're on the Celtics, Kurt's on the Nets. You guys should switch teams just in this bet to make it a little more interesting.
Maybe.
I'm good.
Kurt is
Both of
shaking
them
his head. He's
really
adamantly
reacted.
shaking his head.
Whoa, Kurt's voice on the show.
Wait, I
Whoa.
couldn't hear him.
I couldn't hear him
so
either.
Oh,
I have
that was
no
just
idea what
me.
he's
My bad.
saying,
What
What did he say?
Giannis talk. When Giannis is on the Nets.
We could talk about that for
In
hours
your
upon
dreams.
hours.
But is
not
that
today.
ever going to happen? I don't think so.
To the Nets? He has a better
No.
chance going to the Knicks, I think.
I think he has a better
Personally.
I think he has a better chance going anywhere but the Nets. Like, I don't think
I
he
don't
wants
think
to
so.
go there.
He's coming. He will be a Chicago Bull. No, I'm kidding. Absolutely not. He won't.
He did buy a house in Brooklyn, per Kurt Sippel.
Oh,
Sort
so
of
he's
Kurt
going to the
Sippel.
Brooklyn
Knicks.
expert.
So he's going to the Knicks.
So he's gonna take the train to
So he's going to
Manhattan.
the Knicks.
He just like didn't want to buy the fancy penthouse
Exactly.
in Manhattan.
He wanted to have like the secure, safe location where like he's not in the
He
city with a
definitely,
million
bought an
people.
apartment in Dumbo.
He wanted to like be in the country. You know,
Yeah.
he wanted to be
He wanted
a little
to see
bit
the
off the grid.
trees.
Yes, be one with nature.
Compared to Manhattan,
to
Brooklyn is the country. There are trees, there are parks.
There's
We're
wildlife.
gonna get to run through it in a month.
Central Park?
Central Park is like an anomaly. It's like not real.
That's the anomaly.
Okay, we have to wrap.
There's
Wow,
coyotes in
we
Central
have lost the plot.
We've lost the plot. We're
No,
just
but
being silly.
clearly he's not going to that.
No, I don't
That's
think so
really
either.
Back to the
I
plot. I don't think he's going to that.
would be
Kurt's mad.
surprised if Giannis went to Brooklyn, but I think it actually could be really fun to see
Yeah.
his impact on the team.
Yes, absolutely.
Because
I
like,
just don't know if he wants to be like. I think he wants to join a team that's good and he feels like he can win with.
Yeah.
Because right now he's like, oh, I'm the only one, and I don't think he wants that again. You know what I mean?
It's a lot of. It's
that's
so
like
much
a
pressure.
crazy
That's insane.
mindset, though.
right, but that's kind of what he's living right now. He is like top dog, and there isn't really anyone else that he can like lean on.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
it comes to like playing, like they have tanked so much without him.
Yeah.
And so, like, if he is probably objectively looking at a team and being like, can I win with other players, or am I going to be, or is this going to be a repeat situation? Because at that point, there's no reason to leave.
It's fair. Yeah.
There's no reason to leave if you're going to go and put yourself in another situation where
Yeah.
you're yet again the only one that can carry the team. Like, I
mean,
think he's going to
yeah.
look to go to a place that has, like, some built up.
Yeah,
you know?
this like the Giannis conversation is so interesting to me because there's so many different like variables you can think about.
right.
Like there's so
So
many
many
teams
avenues.
being thrown in there.
Yeah.
And Izzy said it. We could talk about this all day. Unfortunately, we don't have time. It's March. There's too much going on in the sports
Too
world right
much.
now.
Yes.
We have to get to all of it. So that wraps up our basketball talk on the show today. When we come back, Lydia Perner, Grace McCarran, and Sophia Smith has some hockey.
You're listening to WFUV, New York.
Welcome back from the break. This is One on One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. Lydia Perner, Grace McCarran, and Sophia Smith here. Talking Will Cooley, talking Rangers, talking some Islanders. So if you want to call in, good takes only about the Rangers, bad takes only about the Islanders,
Ouch.
call in. 718-817-2750. So, hockey. That's our segment.
Yes.
Let's start with Rangers.
Yeah.
Obviously, not really like a lot to talk about, but also not much to talk about. Panarin comes back for the first time to New York, and it was emotional.
It was emotional.
I can't lie. Like, Grace,
that was
you,
rough.
yeah.
Even it got me.
Yeah,
I
it was.
I don't care about this, but like, yeah.
Like, watching him, he never wanted to leave.
Mhm.
And that hurt. That really hurt to see. Like, I know I had this argument in a group chat that you're in a couple days ago, Grace.
Yep.
Shout out Hope Nolan. I was just looking down at my phone and I saw that she's my screensaver still. But no, it was tough to see Panarin.
His warm-ups were particularly emotional.
During warm-up, he flipped the puck. So he always does a 2-flip puck routine. He flipped the puck once towards the Kings net, once towards the Rangers net. He was the last guy on the ice, getting applause everywhere from all ends. He did a little salute. Like, pre-game, he talked about how he was kind of upset that the return was so soon. He was hoping it'd be next season because it's just so fresh and new. And he wasn't ready for it. And you could tell. He didn't play that well to start the game, but you could tell it was nerves.
Yeah.
He did end up getting assist on the Drew Doughty goal, so, he leaves MSG with a point. But, yeah, I mean, just talking about how he was nervous, like, talking about how he feels like he grew up in New York City. Again, saying that he wished the game was next year. And I think it was Johnny Lazarus that asked Panarin about who his favorite teammate that he played with was. And he mentioned, he was like, well, I don't want to pick one guy, but his line mates, Lafreniere and Trocheck, and then playing with Meek on the power play, and then saying how he hopes they all get traded to LA.
I cried.
I
cried.
Yeah, that was tough. And then he did end up, I captured that quick video. I was filming my post game, and all of a sudden there's so much screaming in the background. And I turn around, I'm like, oh my God, Panarin just hopped on the ice and is taking a photo with 250 Rangers fans. And it was honestly like, I saw Foxley standing off to the side, they were all watching him. It was great. But let's take a listen into what Vincent Trocheck had to say about playing against Artemi Panarin when I asked him about it after that game.
Saw you shoot a few pucks at Artemi and warm up and then go over and see him. Just what is it like seeing him on the other side of the ice?
Yeah, it's weird. He's obviously very fresh, very new. But he's one of my brothers, Said multiple times I got really close with him over the last 4 years, so always good to see him.
So yeah, I mean, the very fresh, very new thing was, I think, what we were all feeling. I think Panarin's feeling it. I talked to Mika too and asked him like a similar question, and he said he was prepared for it, like he knew the tribute, but watching the tribute and seeing the memories, the Game 7 OT winners, the Hurricane series, that run, he was just like, it's just weird. And I think that was kind of the theme of the night, just seeing Panarin in LA.
For all of the hate that he got during the playoffs, he was very clutch.
Yeah.
They had so many good moments. And yeah, the tribute was very sad. And the arena was full for the first time in a long time, and like the energy in that building to start the game, it was all because he was there, definitely.
Yeah. It was just like tough because like we knew it was coming too. And like they obviously all knew it was coming, but it's, it was so soon afterward that it's like, it doesn't even really feel like he left. It feels like he was just out for a couple games and then he,
like
now he's back.
He took a little road trip.
Exactly. He was just, away from the team for a while, but now it's like, oh, he's coming back with a different team. He might make the playoffs. I believe the Kings are in a playoff spot right now. We'll see what happens there, but like he might make the playoffs with a different team.
It's such a waste.
It's crazy.
If he doesn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
It is such a waste. And
I
they're
mean,
like, that's a tough,
But Fiala getting hurt during the Olympics has definitely hurt the chances.
It's gonna be tough for them. But
it is. I forget which one you made the point like about like it feels like a field trip or whatever. Like he's gone, now he's back. Like it didn't feel
really
like he wasn't on the team, especially like during his tribute. I mean, I think Kreider and Trouba had more time to like marinate before they returned. Like when Lafreniere and Trocheck and Fox all skated over during the tribute, like I was like, it just seemed to me like they were still teammates. Like, I mean, Panarin literally shoved Lafreniere when Lafreniere went over, because Lafreniere's just, he's the jokester
also,
of the team.
Trocheck's Instagram story.
Of
Him,
Panarin, Lafreniere. That was tough. And someone on Twitter posted it to One Direction Night Changes, and I like,
that's sickening.
I legit like wanted to start sobbing.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But with Panarin gone, it's kind of, I mean, some people were blaming Panarin for Lafreniere's lack of
lack of production, which I do think is part valid. I think Lafreniere, throughout his 6 seasons with the Rangers, has just not had to be that guy because Panarin was that guy. If, when push comes to shove, that line will deliver for you, but it's Artemi Panarin that's delivering.
Yeah.
So if you get Panarin the puck, that's kind of what Lafreniere has been doing the past couple years. But now, right, Panarin's gone. So someone has to emerge. And if the Rangers really do want this, so-called retool to work, it's guys like Lafreniere that have to start stepping up. It's guys like Braden Schneider, Will Cooley. It's these players. Because Trocheck's, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's hard to say what's going to happen with him. Mika's obviously playing well. Perreault's stepping up big time. But Lafreniere is the Rangers' first overall pick.
Yeah.
6 seasons ago. So it is time for him to show us what he has. But let's take a listen into what Lafreniere had to say when talking about this new role with the Rangers.
Being like a young guy for a while, but now having this experience on this team with, the moving players, just is it different for you kind of going out there and knowing you have a different role on the team now?
Yeah, it's year 6 for me. I feel like I have to, step up a little bit and kind of take a bigger role and play better hockey. So for sure, just to try to play and help the team win as much as I can, and it's always more fun when you win.
Yeah, so after that quote, it's actually kind of funny. I asked Lafreniere about him and Cooley. I told you this already, right?
Yeah.
Him and Cooley both got their 14th goal that night, and then Lafreniere passed the puck on an empty net to let Cooley get his 15th. And I said something. I asked that question. And he was like, "Nah, I don't really care." And then I was like, "You should have shot it." And then as he was running off, he was like, "You know what? Maybe I'll shoot it next time." But since then, Laf's been on a heater.
Yeah.
That whole line's been on a heater.
Yes.
I have where is it written down? So since the Artemi Panarin trade, Lafreniere has 18 points, 10 goals, 8 assists in his last 16 games. In the month of March, he has 7 goals, 7 assists in 10 games. And then factor in Perreault and Mika, that whole line. Perreault has 7 goals, 13 assists, and 20 points in his 36 games as the Rangers. But last 10, 4 goals, 8 assists.
Yeah.
12 points in his last 10 games. For a guy that's younger than me. I don't know if he's younger than you. He's 05, which is just crazy. He's younger than us,
that's
Grace.
insane.
And then Mika's had 5 goals and 8 assists. So
yeah.
that line has really stepped up. And I think I'll let you speak to this. Seeing Gabe Perreault's progression.
Yes.
And what he's been doing for the Rangers, what have you seen from Perreault that you've liked?
Well, I was going to say that just from this whole line, it's just a breath of fresh air from this whole season. There's been so many ups and downs, but mostly downs. And the 4-game winning streak and this line and Perreault's production finally coming to fruition after, he's had this potential for a long time. And with Panarin gone, it was kind of who is going to step up? And yeah, the line has been the saving grace of the last few months. And if they can continue this for the rest of the season, I just think that it's a good momentum builder, and it shows that there is something to look forward to. So I'm very grateful for it.
Not even the rest of the season though. This is a line of the future.
No, yeah.
And when you ask Gabe about, his development in the league, he does talk a lot about, Lafreniere and playing with Lafreniere and Mika and them kind of taking him under his wing. But let's hear what Gabe Perreault had to say when asked about his development thus far in the NHL.
I know you've been asked a lot recently about your comfort level, but it seems to me like it's not even comfort anymore. It's just coming naturally. Just how much have these past couple months you've seen your game evolve and grow, and just I guess it is the comfort out there, but just be able to play your game.
Yeah, I definitely feel confident and comfortable. And like I said, the guys I've been playing with have kind of made it easy for me to be comfortable, and I've been taking me under the wing and made it super easy. So feeling really good right now.
So, Gabe's talking about the guys he's playing with, making him super comfortable and easy to kind of just get in the league, adapt. But I kind of then took that a step further when I was sitting there thinking, my big youth brain. And I was like, I wonder why Lafreniere and Perreault are playing so well together. Perreault's kind of taking a side out of Laf that we haven't seen. Laf's helping Gabe get into the league. So maybe it's because they have some sort of connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I wonder what language they speak. And I literally told everyone before we went in the locker room, I was like, I'm going and I'm asking what language they speak. So I did. So let's get the answer to that.
You and Alexi speak English or French together?
A little bit of both.
When
Sometimes
Mika's out there, is it English?
we try to speak English when it's there's a big group, but if it's just one-on-one, yeah, we'll speak French a good amount.
What do you think about that? The fact that they speak French together. That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, that's super cool. I love that.
I wonder if Mika's had to pick up anything.
Yeah.
Like what's goal in French? I think goal's like I only know this from watching like the Canadians broadcast and like you know how like in soccer like there's like the goal when the Canadians score they go Alaboo. So maybe Mika's picked up on that.
Yeah.
I was gonna try and ask Mika that post game, but he was like a massive scrum, and then I was like probably shouldn't ask that after they just lost to the Kings. So maybe we'll see
next time.
Yeah, what Mika has to say about that. But that line, right? It's Chris Drury kind of shifting to a new core, for lack of better word.
And like you said, it's so good for the future just to have that sense of hope. Because I, like, with Offman, obviously it didn't work. Like, they drafted him, they saw a lot of potential, and it took however many seasons for them to realize that this wasn't going to work, and he needed a change of scenery. And with Perreault, there was a lot of consensus about the Rangers essentially stealing him almost, getting him where they got him.
But then you were also worried if Rangers fans are overhyping him.
Right.
And thinking too highly of him.
That's what tends to happen with Rangers draft picks, Kakko, Lafreniere, and Hoffman. But seeing Perreault this stretch, it's sort of seeming like that hopefully isn't the case.
And I do want to give Mike Sullivan a shout out here because I think people don't think like he's the correct developmental coach. But when I was like thinking about it the other day, he really hasn't had anyone to develop other than Gabe Perreault.
Yeah.
And I think he's done a good job. Like obviously people were upset when he was sent down to Hartford. But the problem with Gabe is he's a small guy. I don't think his skating's an issue to me, but like I think he's like listed at 175, and I think it was David Quinn when Sullivan was out due to personal reasons. I think David Quinn was like, "This is a gentleman's league." So that even though he put up really good numbers in college, like we have to take our time with him. He has to grow, and that's why I think the second stint has really been so much better than the first stint because he was up, he was down, played really well in Hartford, and now he's back up and he's putting up great numbers, and it's good to see. But then you're also like thinking about guys like Lafreniere, like Will Cooley, like Schneider. Like Lafreniere is the fourth longest tenured New York Ranger,
it's crazy.
which is crazy to think about. Which is kind of why like I asked Lafreniere that question. Cooley was asked that same question in his scrum, 3 years. He's the sixth longest, tied with Quick. And then, Schneider falls right there after Mika, Fox, Shesterkin, Lafreniere. He's the fifth. So I kind of wanted to see what Schneider thought about similar like idea of seeing if there's a bigger role to be had and how he can kind of embrace that. Kurt, let's hear what Braden Schneider had to say in terms of playing a bigger leadership role here.
Young guys like you getting an elevated role, and not to say you're an older guy here, but just more experience in the league, in the Ranger uniform. Does that change how you kind of prepare day to day or what you do on the ice and as a teammate?
I think it's just kind of growing. You got to expand your role, and this year has obviously been hard, but it's been a lot of opportunity for a lot of guys to kind of find their game and improve. And I think I'm definitely one of those guys, and I kind of is in both situations that there's an opportunity to step up and keep improving my game, but also making sure that you're grabbing the young guys and pulling them along too. And I feel like they're doing a good job, and we'll keep pushing and keep getting better.
So I asked Schneider that question after. I don't know if you remember the Leafs game. Him and Cooley had that tip goal, and then they did the same exact thing against the Devils. They ended up losing that game. But do you think, like, seeing Schneider, Lafreniere, obviously guys that have been considered young, I don't know if you've had a shift in this, but like to me those are still young guys.
Oh yeah,
but
totally.
but now they're part of, they have to be part of the leadership group, right?
Yeah. No, I think that and when we were when they were thinking about trading Trocheck, I was kind of like, well, that's half your leadership from 2 years ago is completely gone.
Yeah.
You are only left with Zibanejad and Fox. And so, yeah, I think that, like, the younger guys that are no longer super young definitely play a huge role in leadership. And I think that they know that. And Lafreniere stepping up, getting more playing time and also having more production definitely like he knows what he has to do. I think, like you said.
I mean, like, look, there is older guys on the team that are leaders, Gavrikov type of thing, but it is Gavrikov's first season as a New York Ranger. So when you look at a guy like Lafreniere who's been here for 6 years versus a guy like Gavrikov that's been here 1 year, Lafreniere knows the ropes a bit better.
And he's been
and Schneider.
he's been through it all.
Yeah.
And Schneider. They've both been through it all. They've gone to the Eastern Conference Final and they've ended up last in the Metro like this season. And I think that the experience that he has, Lafreniere, is definitely just going to be beneficial for the whole team going forward and himself as a player and his confidence.
Before we head to the Isles, let's see. We've heard from all the players about, the new team, the new roles that they're all playing, young or old. But let's hear what Mike Sullivan had to say when asked about this new, I guess, leadership group emerging for the Rangers.
In addition to Cooley, guys like Lafreniere and Schneider are two guys that have also been seen as part of the young group. Just does their role on leadership elevate as well?
Of course. I think that's it goes hand in hand as they start to establish themselves. And, leadership, I think, is something that every player on the team is responsible to bring an element to that. I don't know that it's designated to a finite group of players. My experience has been that on some of the best teams that leadership manifests itself in so many different ways, and people lead differently. Not everybody's a rah-rah guy, for example. Some guys just lead quietly through their example. Other guys are rah-rah guys. And so, but there's always opportunities, whether it be in the locker room, during meetings, in practice, during the games themselves, on the bench, and during commercial breaks. There's so many different moments where there's opportunities for players to step up and provide some leadership for guys. And so I think it's everybody's responsibility on the roster to do that. And some of these guys that are emerging with establishing themselves as NHL players, I think they take on a little bit more of a responsibility in that regard, and these guys are doing it.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing that Sullivan said in that was the idea of, like, rah-rah guys versus, like, non-rah-rah guys. Like, when I think rah-rah guys, you're thinking, like, Lafreniere, Trocheck, Miller, and then the non-rah-rah guys, like Adam Fox, Mika Zibanejad, lead by example. But, so, I mean, I didn't think about, like, the little moments in the games, like, during media breaks and all that stuff. So I thought that was good for Sullivan to talk about. And I think like we said, like that those times are places where Lafreniere can step up and be a leader. And I think Schneider's more of a lead by example guy, probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. And I think if we can see an emerging role come from these guys, then the retool could work. I don't think it's next season, but why not the season after that, or even a little bit further down the road. But let's go back to the rah-rah idea. I think the Islanders got a rah-rah guy or maybe at least a good leader in Braden Shen a couple weeks ago, and it's a tight playoff race out there. Who's your rah-rah guy is Matthew Schaefer, right? I mean,
absolutely. Rah-rah guy's Matthew Schaefer. He's absolutely, Sophie and I have both experienced it this season. Like, the vibe at UBS Arena is so different than it was last year. Like, at this time last year, they were just treading water, obviously. Like, they weren't eliminated, but they were, like, not going to make any noise. Very quiet. Not a lot of people in the seats. Now it's, like, multiple sellouts. It's loud, especially when Matthew Schaefer even, like, touches the puck. So I believe it was one of their games against the Devils. They won 9-0. It was in January. I asked Matthew Schaefer how he's been feeding off of the crowds at UBS, especially during games against guys like New Jersey. Let's hear what he had to say.
You talked about the rivalry games and how juiced you are to be in those. Do you feel a little bit of extra juice, especially with a crowd like this in recent games?
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, when you come out and the fans are, all jump on their feet, cheering loud, and behind you, it definitely helps a lot.
I would, like Sophie, you and I can both attest to this. They're in Montreal tonight. They go back home, and Columbus comes in tomorrow. I would argue that's probably their biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
Just because
Tomorrow.
Columbus is in, Columbus is in the playoff spot that right now, or at least last time I looked, which was yesterday. So I think it's
and
right.
Columbus
Same
has
thing
a
right now.
game in hand.
Yes, Columbus has a game in hand. Islanders are right there, but we're kind of at the point of the season. The Islanders have 13 games left, including tonight. They're turning into must wins.
Totally.
It's not like they lost to Ottawa on Thursday. It's not like the sky's falling if you lose one, but it's like you don't want to lose to Ottawa.
It's close. The standings are so
They're
close.
so close. And this was the first time since, I think, January or something that the Islanders have been out of a playoff spot.
I know. I thought I've been looking at the standings the past couple weeks, and I really thought the Islanders were like solidified in there. But let's just quickly, like, Columbus fired their coach, hired Rick Bowness. So
Yeah.
Bonus, and have been like incredible.
Yeah, they like don't
since then.
lose
And now it's like they're
scared.
competing with the Islanders.
Yeah.
And the problem is the next two teams in those wild card spots are Atlantic Division teams. So there's nowhere for them to go. So yeah, I mean it's the East is crazy. I think I saw something that's like the Flyers would be in a playoff spot if they were out west, like the first playoff spot in the West.
No, yeah, because the Pacific Division is like a joke.
Yeah,
It's, like,
I think
actually
the top
awful.
team is like 74 points or 76 points, or something like that.
76. Actually, the Kings are in the wild card spot with 72 points.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Because obviously, I think the big thing for the Islanders this year has been a couple things. Matthew Schaefer making all these veterans playing like rookies again, like young, energetic guys.
Yeah.
And Sorokin being healthy.
Absolutely.
Sorokin hasn't been healthy in seasons, and that's been the detrimental to the Islanders. So what needs to, for the Islanders to make the playoffs, what do you need to see from them?
Honestly, they haven't hit. I think I was saying this on 5-on-3 this week. They haven't hit like a really rough patch yet.
Yeah,
that needs to continue. They've been so consistent.
Yeah, like they'll drop a game here and there, but that's okay.
They'll drop a couple games in a row, then they get out of it, and they're like back to winning a few games in a row. They haven't hit that spot yet, that valley. I need them to keep doing that. Matt Barzal, I mean, I talk about him all the time. Matt Barzal legitimately having one of the best seasons of his career this year. Him and Schaefer like this, and the whole team, like the camaraderie, you can see it. They like love each other. They've all said it. Like this is a really tight group of guys. We just need that to just ride the wave. But also, I'm almost like don't even look at what other teams are doing. Just don't let that get in your head. Just play. Just win. Montreal tonight. Columbus tomorrow. I think they have Chicago coming in on Tuesday. You're gonna be there.
Some tough but winnable games.
Yes, exactly. They have Florida next Saturday. And, that's
Columbus
winnable.
and Montreal are gonna be two good contests.
Yes.
Those are gonna be playoff like games.
Exactly.
Back to back.
Right. They're both on the weekend. UBS is going to be jumping.
Yeah.
They got to feed off of that, and they have been. I just like it's so you were right. Like I was thinking like, oh, this is not going to be that hard. It's so tight, and they also have the second hardest schedule left. They play Dallas. They play 2 with Carolina, Eek, and then Buffalo as well, who's obviously just been the story this year, but. It's not going to be easy, but I think they can make it. And if they do make it, we were talking about this the other day too. If they do make it, I think they can win at least the first round.
Yeah, there's no reason that they can't beat the Penguins.
Yeah. I agree.
And I don't think the Hurricanes are that good either. But I think we're
right.
starting to eat into some
Yeah.
general NHL. So we're going to head to break. But this break, you guys are going to be blessed to hear Will Cooley's voice talking after the only time I've been able to talk to him after a win, because the Rangers lose that much, other than the time when he cried after a win. That was
a
one.
lot.
But Trocheck's still here like we talked about. So stay tuned for that. And then on the other side of that break, we're getting some general NHL from Abby, Emma, Vanessa, and Fifi.
Sullivan talks a lot after games just about how prideful this group is. Would you consider that, just given the circumstances coming back in just a prideful game?
Yeah, I thought we battled hard. I mean, down by 1 going into the third, coming back and winning in OT. So, I thought it was, a good effort there in the third for sure.
And just getting a couple, greasy goals as a team, you get the tip, and then, taking the eyes away of the goalie on Will Borgens. Are those goals you guys are trying to work towards, especially when offense isn't necessarily coming throughout the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll take any goal if it goes in the net, but, big focus on getting guys to the net and winning those net front battles. So we had a few of the goals like that today, so it was good.
Just what was your reaction when you see Robertson's goal go in an OT?
It was good. I was kind of out of breath from the shift, so happy he put it in. That was a nice goal.
All right.
Welcome back into One-on-One, New York's longest-running sports call-in show. I'm Abby Cristofero, joined here by Emma Leonardi, Vanessa Casuta, and Fifi Schlosser to talk general NHL, but more specifically the playoff push. If you have any takes, give us a call at 718-817-2750. But for now, we're going to get into it with a brief talk about New Jersey hockey before we dive into the overall playoff picture. So the Devils lost to the Caps last night 2-1. Emma's a Caps fan, so how do you feel about that?
I'm a little sick right now, as you probably can hear, but that was a big win for us. I just am so happy that we get to talk about this today.
Yeah, the Devils were on a win streak as well, so that was really upsetting for me. They had 3 games. They had won 6-3 over the Rangers at Madison Square Garden on Wednesday, and then 4-3 with an overtime win at the Prudential Center on Monday night, which was a really fun game to watch. So, any other Devils thoughts?
I'm from New Jersey, so,
Are you a Devils fan?
Okay. So I've never been one when it comes to hockey. I've always been like very back and forth because my family's very divided between Devils and Rangers. So it's basically like whatever team I'm watching, like I'll root for, but I do tend to root for the Devils just because I am from New Jersey.
Well, it's good that they're both bad, so you don't have to pick between them right now.
I know. So now I have to like find a team to root for in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm bummed just because they've been not that they, are going to make the playoffs. It's just, it's good to see them like trying to end on a high note.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, when they go and reevaluate, okay, these are what our strengths are. We're really good on this, this, and this. Where are these other places that we can improve to then make that playoff push? And I know it's kind of been a mess because of like injuries and stuff like that, which is typical with the Devils,
Yeah,
but
literally. It's insane.
yeah, classic. It just sucks sometimes,
Yeah, I just so on the game against the Bruins on Monday, their second period was genuinely like some of the best hockey I've seen from them.
Really?
And yeah, it was so good. And it shows you that they have the pieces of the team that can be there, but they just don't got it every time.
Missing.
But in that game, actually, Jack Hughes was the fastest New Jersey Devil to ever hit 400 career points, and it was in 414 games, I think, and the record was 429. So that was exciting.
Yeah, he's been on a tear since the Olympics.
Oh,
which
yeah,
I'm thrilled about.
Yeah,
he's riding that high.
He's definitely riding that high. But yeah, the Devils, they're not totally out of playoff contention yet, but pretty much. Their season's over. So, but the playoffs are far from being decided. Super Saturday is coming up. There's going to be 11 games on Saturday, which is going to be crucial for playoff standings. The only clinched playoff spot is the Colorado Avalanche. They got that spot last night against the Blackhawks, and that was a 4-1 victory. So, yeah, only one team has the definite,
and they're pretty much gonna win the President's Trophy, right? You think so?
I don't know.
I mean, like if you had asked me at the beginning of the season, and I'm pretty sure we talked about this on 5-on-3 at the beginning of the season, if they were gonna stay so consistent, and I think I said no, because
our takes were
actually,
every take we had on the 5-on-3 season preview was wrong.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
Every single one.
And you know what? That's beautiful though, because I love being surprised.
No, literally, it's been a very entertaining.
It's been so entertaining
season. But yeah, we talked about how the Rangers had all the pieces in motion to go far.
Yes.
The Devils, if they could stay uninjured, and then one time they had 11 people on IR,
which is crazy,
which is insane. And what else? Yeah, we talked about them. Yeah. Not staying
Yeah.
consistent. So,
but they've the Avs have remained consistent. It's actually unbelievable.
Yeah, they've been playing really well.
They've been playing so well, and honestly, I've definitely been asked this. I don't think on 5-on-3, but just in general, how do you feel about the probability of the Avs not only probably winning the President's Trophy, but also being the Stanley Cup champions this year?
I think that it's not out of the picture, and I think that the first. I talk about this a lot when we're talking about hockey, and I know that it is about who you're playing, the skill, whatever. Obviously, that's important. But I think that the momentum of being the first team to clinch that playoff spot, you're going to have your players are now in it to win it, and that can take them really far, I think.
Oh, yeah. They've been in it to win it for a long time, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I really, this season has genuinely thrown me for a loop because of how, random everything is.
It's also like a lot of the playoff teams last year aren't even making it this year. Like the Maple Leafs are way down. That it's a mess there.
Yeah, everyone technically still has a shot except the Canucks. They are mathematically out of the playoffs, but everyone else are technically, we have to say, still in playoff contention.
Yeah.
But we know that the Bruins, the Rangers, the Devils, or the Devils maybe if everything goes right for them, which it won't. So, but speaking about craziness via predictions, the Sabres.
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
They lead the Atlantic. They are right behind the Hurricanes in the Western Conference. Not Western, so that would actually be the Eastern. But
which is crazy.
They're just 1 or 2 games behind them, and so is Tampa Bay. But the Sabres last year were so bad. They haven't been in the playoffs in, I think, 13, 14, 15 years.
Yeah.
So, I'm a Bills fan as well, and I feel like this
I'm
is
a Bills fan as well.
Beautiful. And I feel like this is exactly like when they were in the football playoffs, and then all of a sudden they got really good, and now we get to see that competitiveness. But, yeah, let's talk about the Sabres because I think that their change from this last season to this season is actually insane because normally you see a couple of seasons after they didn't even rebuild. I mean, they got they got the new coach back from the Devils, but normally you have a couple seasons to get everything to work and then you start making that cup run. So, yeah.
I mean, it's just been honestly beautiful to watch them turn the season around.
Oh my God, it's so fun to watch.
They started the season, I was like, oh, it's a classic Sabre
season.
And now they've turned it around, and that's beautiful for them. And I honestly hope they make it into the playoffs because I think it would be really. That's beautiful, and that's beautiful, and hopefully they win. Because who wants the Kings to win?
If the Sabres
really,
who wants the Kings to win?
Who wants the Kings to win?
If the Sabres, okay, let's think about a hypothetical. Like, what if the Sabres won the Stanley Cup? Like, I actually
that would be epic.
So happy,
but it's not it's not even just like because here's the thing. The city of Buffalo has just been
going to be burned to the ground.
Yes, but they've also just been fiending for
some win of any kind.
Yeah, they've just been fiending for a win, a championship.
It can be anything.
The Bills have just had some really disappointing ends, which I can't even talk about it. But when you have teams like this, and this is really just general sports, but I'll just use hockey as the example because we're talking about the Sabres. They make the sport fun.
Yeah.
They make it entertaining. You end up actually rooting for them a little bit because you're just like, wait, this is really cool, So it's just really it's just cool to see,
If they were to win, literally that's just creating a whole new line of hope.
Yeah.
For any team. I think that just makes the next year's playoffs and everything just so much more exciting if you were to have a team like that win it all.
I can't believe how bad they were.
Oh my
it's
God.
Astonishing.
They were horrific, and now they're the talk of every single article, and where the Sabres things like that, and I just genuinely baffling because it was just it was even the start of this season. It's just okay, what it's gonna be a typical, and then the Jersey was doing really really well at the beginning of the season. I was like, this is it, this is our time, and of course 11 people got injured at once. So that's
Jack Hughes' hands sliced.
Everything's awful.
Everything's
messed up.
There was an accident at a team dinner, and he was out for 2
he was
months.
out for 2 months because he cut his hand or something. I don't even know. But that's crazy. So yeah, we got the Sabres, right behind Carolina in the Eastern Conference, but then the Tampa Bay is also right behind them there too. So they're kind of all battling for those for that top spot to get into the playoffs. But now let's moving over to the Western Conference real quick. Hurricanes also lead the Metro, but the Ducks lead the Pacific.
Don't even.
Also, if you told me this last year, I'd be like,
don't even.
What?
I'm shocked.
Don't even bring that name into this household.
Emma is not
I'm not
in any sense of the world a Ducks fan.
And what is the reason? Because you didn't say when we were in the back, but I'm just curious.
It honestly started with I haven't hated the Ducks for that long, but it started with there was a Jacob Trouba hit against Ryan Leonard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Last year, like this season, but last year, and ever since then I've just been kind of okay, kind of a lot.
But
it injured him, and he was doing so well for us, and that kind of put a damper on our wins, for a while. So that was a little annoying, and then they took Carlson from me, and I say took. I say took as if we didn't trade him away.
And
Like
personally.
But like, I honestly feel like it's such a weird like place that I'm in because now they have John Carlson, who was drafted in 2009 to the Capitals, has been on the Capitals his entire career, and they traded in the Caps. I mean, it's our fault. We traded him away. We traded him away for like
that was so sad when the news
nothing.
came out.
When that news came out, and Ovechkin
he's
was
literally
so sad and said it was the hardest day of his career.
When I tell you,
oh my god,
like,
well, because they've been on the team together for forever.
Ovechkin was
they won the
drafted-
Stanley Cup together.
Ovechkin was drafted 2005. Carlson was drafted 2009. Both been on the Caps their entire career. Carlson also, if you go to Capital One Arena, you're gonna see two jerseys that are worn the most. It's Ovechkin and Carlson.
Yeah,
you also see a little Oshie, obviously Wilson, but Carlson, he's the People's Princess.
The People's Princess, and they
traded him away.
They traded the People's Princess away. How can they?
When I
do
tell
that?
you,
That's a shot to the heart.
it really was.
Yeah, but hearing the team
It really was.
sentiment of that trade was
Oh my
like,
God.
a lot of the times, they when players are talking about traded, they're like, yeah, like we were really close, obviously, but happy for them. This was like, like I can't do this. Like it was like I don't want to talk about it. Like
Yeah.
this is Ovechkin saying this was the hardest day of his career. That's crazy.
It's tough. That's like, cause like you're losing your boy.
That-
you know,
like that's like you've got.
it's
like,
a shot to the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is Papa for our team. Like obviously, no. And I was telling my mom this. Like this is so serious. I was telling my mom this. Like Ovechkin, yes, Ovechkin is like the leader of our team. He's our captain. But when new players come onto our team, it's like Ovechkin is such a legend.
Yeah.
That, like as a young player, or at least how I think about it as a young player, if you're coming onto a new team, you're like not wanting to really go up to him because you're a little intimidated.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't be?
But you know who was always there? John Carlson.
You know who was always there? You know?
You know? It was John Carlson.
And you know who's not there anymore?
John Carlson.
John Carlson.
Damn.
That hurt. That hurt. That hurt my soul.
Also, just Anaheim also kills me because of their highlighter orange uniforms.
I can't.
It's
I'm
hard
done
to
with
look
it.
at. It's hard to look at. It's so chopped.
I will say I will apologize a little bit for the Anaheim hate because I know Sophia Smith, Chris Kreider, lover.
Oh,
and he
I'm a
is-
Chris Kreider lover too,
Yeah.
but I don't like the Ducks.
But I don't like the Ducks.
Yeah.
So we're separating him and John Carlson from the Ducks.
It's like
and
Florida. Like I get a little
moving
bit
on.
like I don't know why San Jose. Like I think the orange. Okay, this is gonna sound actually insane, but the orange in California, like that doesn't.
I kind of
Like
get that.
shouldn't there shouldn't be a hockey team there. There shouldn't be a hockey team there with the blue. I'm like, okay, that's ice is blue. You know, like that's how I'm thinking. I'm thinking Anaheim doesn't need a team, or like the same as Florida.
Oh,
like
totally. It just seems randomly
it seems
placed.
it seems like
Yeah.
okay, there's a team there. Like
Well,
and-
also the Angels are there too, but it just still randomly placed.
it's just
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
And the Angels go under LA, so
Yeah. But speaking of Florida, because you just said Florida.
I did say Florida.
You know what I'm really hoping for?
And what is that, Emma?
A Pantherless playoff.
yes,
Please.
yes, please.
Please.
I've never wanted anything more in my
I've
life.
never that is the
would-
one thing that I've wanted this entire season was a Pantherless playoff.
I want a Pantherless league. Like I need a like.
Is this possible? Is this foreseeable?
Look
I
right
mean-
here.
I mean,
They're like way like they're second to last in
They-
in the Atlantic.
The thing is, they could statistically still do it. and
Kind
that's-
of.
and
They're
that's the problem.
Yeah, they could.
Because I feel like because we all
They're like
don't want
Eastern
them-
they're like the
Conference is-
Chiefs of hockey, dude.
Oh my
Eastern
but like
Conference-
worse.
Yeah.
The
but, like,
Eastern-
worse.
Yeah, no, like actually worse because they have freaking Kachuk on their team. Whatever. But the Eastern Conference is kind of anyone can take it right
Which
now.
that's I feel like that's
It's not
also just
over
like
yet.
I feel like that's for a lot of sports too is like for some reason Eastern conferences
Yeah.
are the ones that are always up for grabs. You even
They're
see
more
that for basketball too.
entertaining, East Coast, West
Same with baseball, same with football really.
Mhm.
I don't want the Panthers there.
Get them off my screen.
I just always
Get them off my screen.
Get them off my phone.
Get them
Yeah.
off my screen. I can't
Bruins
do it.
do kind of they might have a chance. I don't
It's
know.
just every year with them. I think that it's gonna be something. I think it's gonna be like the coaching's gonna be different or something, and it just never goes up. To
I will say, I think the two teams that I am happy to see that are just like in that wild card area right now are the Minnesota Wild and also the Canadians. I know you have
I want the Wild in the playoff.
Because I'm happy for Quinn
so
Hughes.
bad.
I'm happy for Quinn Hughes.
Of course, I'm happy.
Just because the Canucks have just not been it, you know.
I think also like. No,
We need to talk about
obviously,
the Canadians, though.
like the Wild is a really, really big team, but
Yeah.
especially from someone who really watches the Metro, having Quinn Hughes go to the Wild made me realize that this team is fun to watch.
Yeah.
And that there's
Yeah.
something there that could go really far.
Yes.
So, okay, let's do really quickly before we. Okay, real quick, most likely not making it to the playoffs. Rangers, maybe Bruins, Blues, Calgary, bunch of others. Emma really wants the San Jose Sharks in the playoffs, so that's exciting.
I just think it would be
I want to
fun.
see Macklin.
Just think it would be
I want
fun.
Macklin and Will Smith.
Yeah.
Look, you could say a lot about people and being fake fans of hockey because they're fans of
Yeah.
the Sharks, but I will say their PR team is incredible.
Oh my God, you gotta capitalize on
Oh
something
my
like that. You got
God.
that duo there, like you gotta capitalize. My brother used to be a big Sharks fan, so I've like always thought they were really good. And then when I started like getting into hockey, like a couple years ago, I was like, who lied to me? Like, what am I watching
Yeah.
right now?
What was the hype behind this?
Yeah. Obviously want the Caps. Obviously want the Caps in there.
Do you want them in there, or like, do you think you have them winning? Like, who do you guys have winning? Let's just do like a quick
I don't
Hail
have them
Mary.
winning. I don't have them.
I don't.
winning.
Yeah.
No.
It's
Like
the
winning
Habs.
the Eastern Conference or just winning
No,
the
winning
whole
the whole thing. Like, let's just
It's
do a
the
Hail
Habs.
Mary.
I like that as like a.
I just want
as
to
a
be
little shock.
optimistic. Why not? You know.
I want to be optimistic too, but I just think from a realistic perspective, I just feel like it's gonna.
definitely not realistic.
I feel like it's gonna be the Avs.
Definitely the
I
Habs.
wouldn't hate that.
Yeah.
Like
I'm going Avs or Sabres. But of course, New Jersey will be coming back and taking it,
Oh, of course.
taking it all. So we don't have to even worry about that. But I think that's all for general NHL today. When we come back, we'll have tennis talk with Gabby, Mary Hannah, Mary, and Fifi.
Hey everyone, it's Lydia Perner.
And Grace McCarran.
And we are two of your hosts for 5 on 3.
WFUV's best, if only, hockey podcast.
With all the storylines in the tri-state area, you won't want to miss an episode.
How will Matthew Schaefer fit in with the Islanders?
And will the Rangers have a bounce-back season under Mike Sullivan?
Finally, will the Devils be able to stay healthy and hit their full potential?
Stick with us all season for all things NHL and Will Cooley updates on WFUV Sports.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex Diaz.
And I'm Mary Hannah Gallagher.
And we're the host of All In, a women's sports podcast.
On All In, we discuss everything women's sports, from the WNBA, the AUSL, and NWSL.
No matter the sport, we have you covered.
You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you get your podcasts.
All In is a production of WFUV Sports.
Welcome back to One on One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. I'm Mary Hawthorne here alongside Gabby Price, Mary Hannah Gallagher, and Fifi Schlosser to talk all about tennis. If you have any takes, give us a call at 718-817-2750. But for now, we are just going to discuss the exciting start of the spring quarter of the tennis tour, with Indian Wells having just concluded. I wanted to ask, Gabby, why don't you start us off? What do you think of the women's final?
The women's final, I mean, obviously, this is a matchup that we're used to. I don't think it was not expected by any means. I did appreciate how competitive it was this time. I feel like a lot of times in the past, it's been a little bit more one-sided with Sabalenka, and she did ultimately pull it out. Kind of bummed her Rybakina. I feel like I have, like, I don't really know why, but I have this soft spot for Rybakina.
Completely.
Like, I really like
agree.
her. Like, I think she's just, like, very sweet. I think she's a great player. So I would have liked to see her pull out that third set tiebreak, but hey, good tennis is good tennis. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. What did you guys think? Did you have time to watch it, or did you just see afterwards?
I kind of just saw afterwards, but I got into the men's final, so I feel like I'll be a little bit more helpful over there.
Oh my gosh, of course. And that was insane.
Another crazy final.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that was so exciting, and also this is just so random, but I just loved Sinner's outfit. He's so cute.
Oh my gosh, my mom said the same thing.
He's literally the absolute cutest, but I genuinely, I thought Medvedev really had a shot. I mean, obviously it was a very, very tight match, but call me crazy, that age group of guys, obviously Djokovic is such an exception, but the Medvedev, the Zverev, the Tsitsipas, I genuinely don't know if their time is ever going to be here. And I just Medvedev is
so right.
He's above the game from the other ones.
Yeah.
But still, it's just sad to not really see it click as much. You know what I mean?
It is. The fact that Zverev, I mean, I know he's very problematic, but
I have a poster of him in my room, mind you.
Why?
Before
before the scandals. I understand.
Oh,
Before I heard all about that, he was one of my favorite players.
Well,
he reminds me a lot of
really-
Roger in his technique. I think he looks very elegant playing.
Very elegant.
But
It's
it's crazy to look back and think that they were going to be the big three. There's a video of Medvedev saying oh, well, it's going to be Stefanos, me and me and
Tsitsipas
Sasha.
is so far from that ever happening.
Don't even get me started.
It's not
because
even funny.
Even
I can't.
hearing that claim is remarkable.
But and they had that ego because it was that time where it was that strange transition period where it was post Roger, Rafa.
Yeah.
Novak was that's when Novak was winning crazy majors.
Right.
And then we
Rafa
didn't have
kind
Carlos.
of was too. What was it? What was this final against? I don't remember if it was against Medvedev or whatever it was. It was Australian Open a couple of years ago. And that was his really final bang, but I don't even think Alcaraz was like you said really on the scene as much because that just blew up so fast.
Yeah,
No, completely.
I feel like I did
Tsitsipas.
Yeah.
It's
that
a ridiculous name.
I think is
He
the
was
hardest
great.
name for me, maybe in all of sports for me to say. Actually, I the T to the S combo gets me every single time. Anyways, I actually liked him at first when he came out on scene. I thought he was great, and I liked the way he played. I feel like he was my Zverev almost.
Okay.
For you
Completely.
guys.
And they all are
And
talented.
then I do agree with you. He's no longer one of my favorite players, just because I find him kind of annoying. And I know we've talked about it before, and I was trying to look it up, but I can't think of it. What was that? Because we talked about it before. I know I've talked about
definitely.
that era with you where it's
Mhm.
the in between. What's that generation of guys that we said that it was just the Djokovic effect that they never made it to that top
I
three.
think we're just gonna call them maybe millennials. I
Ooh.
think no, but they
Harsh
are.
but
They-
true.
They
Yeah.
are. They're
No,
not
no,
Gen
yeah,
Z,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Sinner
Yeah.
and Alcaraz are
They
Gen
are.
Z.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
22 years
Yeah.
old.
They're babies.
But I remember us talking about that, and I remember vividly. I was at the U.S. Open with my family, and it was a day session in Ash, and it was Tsitsipas, who was the big name of everyone's gonna see, and he was playing this unranked guy named Alcaraz, and he beat him.
Oh my god, yeah,
And-
that's what it was.
Yes, and we were like,
forgot
oh, I
about
hope
that.
it's a good match. I hope it's at least a fight, and it's just insane how it's transpired since then.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
It was cinematic.
That's
I
a
genuinely
crazy-
am like,
That's
I-
a
I-
crazy origin
Absolute
moment
cinema.
for you.
yeah, it's core development right there. I think my frontal lobe developed at that match.
Fully. Would you guys include, or well, obviously including, but I wouldn't even put like a Rublev or a Rude in that
Oh.
little millennial.
I love them both.
Well, I think it was Rude. He just got beat in Miami to. Do you guys know Ethan Quinn? What do y'all know about Ethan Quinn?
Wait, can you fill us
I
in on
Okay,
Ethan
don't
Quinn?
know
I'll-
anything
okay,
about
Not
I'll
much,
fill
yeah.
in, I'll
He's
fill in.
unranked, yeah.
No, he's what is he?
In the tournament, he's on.
Wait,
Oh, yeah.
I know Ethan Quinn.
Okay, so Ethan Quinn, I think that there is a little bit of a revolution of I think the American players are going to be making a comeback because there's just so many, or Alex Michelson.
True.
I love him and Ethan Quinn. I saw them at a Newport 250 tournament like a couple years ago. Like me and my friends do that every year, and I was like it was just all kind of like the random U.S. guys, because like who's going to Newport? Not a lot of people.
No.
But they genuinely are making a little bit of waves now. Ethan Quinn, I think he beat Rude in like 2 sets easily, and I like seeing a little bit of the Americans coming back, because genuinely it has been so dominated for so long of the European guys, but it like back in the day with our classic wooden rackets, like that was Americans.
Completely.
It also was just Ethan Quinn's birthday like a couple days ago. So
Happy birthday, baby. You guys are really tapped into Ethan Quinn.
Well, ATP,
What can I say?
ATP.com is tapped in.
They were all Georgia players. Like there was like I think like 4 of them that were like playing at Georgia, and they all dropped out to play professional. And I think it's slowly starting a comeback. I think Alex Michelson more, but I actually have a photo with him, but we'll discuss it later.
Wow. Wait, please share. That is such a flex.
From that day, I'll find.
Wow. Wait, okay, I wish I knew more of these younger American players that are coming onto the scene, Gabby. I don't know if you agree, but for me, my like pride and joy is in Ben Shelton. I think he is just incredible.
We saw him at the Garden Cup last year.
Yes.
I wasn't able to attend that.
What?
But yeah, I didn't go.
My
She's
memory's
referring
not
to
working.
Fifi and I are both on the club tennis team at Fordham.
Shout out. Oh my God. Gabby's the president. Shout out.
and- Shout out. But the past 2 years, a group has gone to the Garden Cup, obviously, because got a tennis
Wow.
at the Garden. You went.
Yes,
you were
I
also
did go.
there. You were there as a reporter.
But still, as a tennis
yeah,
player
yeah.
yourself, that's very cool.
I wasn't able to go, but that is what.
Wow.
Fifi, we were not just like.
Ben Shelton was super entertaining.
competing.
It was him and
Oh.
Alcaraz.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
that
that's,
was
that's
next
fun.
level.
That's
the
fun.
players, who was it? It was
Tommy Paul and Nick Kyrgios.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what I'll say
Womp
though
womp. I
about
can't stand him.
Ben Shelton is that I think he's probably this generation's like Rude or Zverev. Like
Yeah.
because I think he's good, but he's never gonna be good enough.
He's not going to win more. If he wins a major, it's not going to be more than one. That's,
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with that. And it might be like the US Open.
Yeah. But he doesn't, not that he doesn't need to, but like,
He's successful enough.
he's successful enough and he's created like a good brand for himself. It's that big serve that he just kind of capitalized on, I guess. Like,
but that's like John Isner. Like he just
Oh,
could
God.
never pull it together, but his serve was like the best.
But he's also like, John Isner is weirdly proportioned, so it's harder.
He's also
to
like,
make it big in
very tall.
tennis with that build. What, I think he's 6'10", 6'9", something.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. That I think that's a good
6'10".
comparison, especially I think with the serve, because obviously like Ben Shelton has maybe the best serve on tour in terms of power and stuff, but I just like I also think it's coming from a place where people like love him, and it
Totally.
feels very like fratty to me,
And maternal.
Sure, but I don't like that. Like I don't like that
That's valid.
energy.
Yeah, that's totally valid. That people, it's kind of just like the brand, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it also is like if my favorite player of all time, like it's Federer. Like
Yeah.
they're like
great.
They're
pick.
so opposite. Like I like more of like the reserve night.
Yes.
And, like
yes. I
Ben is a
agree.
little rowdy for me. I do like that he's making people excited about tennis.
Yeah, but it is elegant at its core, you know? I love
yes,
seeing
yes,
I love
completely.
seeing the guys when they go to Wimbledon, because I just think that like you have to play into that like classic and it's just more of that like respectful vibe, I guess.
Sure,
And I
yeah.
love seeing how like different players like when Nick Kyrgios goes there, like there's always drama because it's like you're not respecting the
Completely.
tradition.
When he was in the
anyone.
Wimbledon final, he was wearing a red baseball cap. When he was the one time he was in
It
the Wimbledon
literally
final.
hurts.
What? Just why? It is against the rules. Why are you doing that? It's constant, just an interest in being combative,
Did he
which I
get,
don't
like,
love.
It's all
seriously
rage
called
bait.
out for that?
It is rage bait. It is rage bait. I don't
I think
even
he got
know.
fined.
I don't even think he cares, but
No,
he
yeah.
doesn't care.
No, there's no way he does.
no, completely.
But it's sad because with him, like, I hate to admit it, like, he does have a lot of that like natural talent, but it genuinely
Mhm.
like his coaching and the way that he went about it, it's like he's the epitome of like a guy that would be like, I could have gone D1 if I actually tried.
Right.
Like, genuinely, he could have made bigger waves if he
says
did
that.
try.
Right.
And he says
That-
that that's what ruins it.
I think you just actually like hit it like
nail
whatever.
on the head.
Yeah, hit the nail on the head. I think that's 100% agree.
I think a reporter asked Rafa this. He goes, "Oh, well, what do you think if Nick really devoted himself and
They hate being
focused
asked
on his
about
health?"
him. I
And
would too.
Rafa's answer was great. Exactly. He goes, "Well, obviously he didn't. We're not living in the hypothetical," which I
Like-
thought was such a good answer. I mean, I hate
And
to
English
say
is
it,
hard
but-
for him,
Yeah.
so that's really
I
impressive.
hate
you
to
know
say
that
it, but
when
it's
he comes
true.
up with something that like clocks you know that he means it.
Oh yeah, they literally are probably so sick of being asked about
Completely.
players like him because Nick Kyrgios was way more like on the scene, I guess, when they were like kind of ending. Like, why would you want to go out
Yeah.
of your incredible career being asked about a player like that?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, and especially like maybe like 5 years ago, 7 years ago, if they were like he did something and then it was like asking about it. But at this point, it's like we don't need to be asking. That's
Totally.
like a
There's no need to talk about
it's
other
more
players.
of like a journalism qualm in
Qualm.
tennis. You know what I mean?
Totally.
It's like
Yeah.
can we like get to what's interesting here? I like the portion of the tennis fan base now that actually cares about Kyrgios is very small, I think.
Yeah.
Very true. But with that being said, I can't believe we are almost out of time. It's been so much
Oh.
fun. But I wanted to ask your guys' prediction since it's the women's show. Why don't we just give it for the women for the Miami Open final? Our predictions. For me, I'm going to say Coco Gauff
Love
because
her.
that would be a
Good
dream
one.
final with her in it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say Sabalenka. So I think it may
Well,
be
she's always there.
Sabalenka and Coco, like you said, she's always there. I think Coco has a chance to really redeem herself here. We need her back on top. She's still number 4, so obviously she is, but I would love to see her in a final. So that's my take.
I agree. I would love to have Coco there. I do love Iga though. Like she just seems like my close personal friend. Like I love her, but I also think like having like a Pagula or someone in there like whenever it's like a US tournament, I feel like you kind of always want like an American to be in there, but again, Coco is absolutely more than enough. If we could get her to the final, that would make me so happy.
Yeah, I really like Coco. I wish I liked Sabalenka more because you guys love her, but the energy that I feel like she brings into tournaments, like low-key, just makes me uneasy. Like I just,
Interesting.
yeah, I don't really. So I'm gonna go Coco and I think Iga for this one.
That's
that's a classic. I'm gonna go sneaky Svitolina. for one.
Oh, great pick. She's been doing
Because
so well.
I feel like a lot of these, Miami isn't a small tournament, but it's obviously not like a slam. I feel like this is like one of those tournaments that like people not a 1 or 2 seed like they do really
skip
well
it.
in.
Yeah.
So I'll go her, and then it's like, who am I to not say Sabalenka? Like, she's gonna be
It's
there.
true.
Like, we know she's gonna be there. And if she's not, then we jinxed her. And Sabalenka, we're sorry.
Apologies from us.
And congrats on getting engaged.
Yes,
Aw.
congrats on getting engaged to Sabalenka. I think that's amazing.
That's
She's
the
been showing
perfect
her
ending.
ring. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know. I can't believe she plays with it. I'm like, how awesome is that? But anyway, guys, I had the best time. This was the highlight of my weekend. Such an honor to partake in this episode of One on One, the all-women show. We will be right back. We're going to take a quick break, but next up, you will be hearing all things baseball from Grace, Vanessa, and Sophia.
You're listening to WFUV, New York.
Hey everyone, it's the best time of the year now that we get to talk about Major League Baseball again. I'm beyond excited to be one of our Yankees beat reporters this season. While I won't be at the stadium until May since I've been studying abroad in London all semester, I have been keeping a close eye on this Yankees squad. I'd be wrong not to mention the fact that this team looks very similar to the one last year. A couple changes, Garrett Cole coming back, and of course the rise of Carlos Hey, the big spring trading storyline. He will start the season in AAA, but will definitely have an impact on this team down the road. Overall, with the Yanks, we didn't really see any blockbuster moves this offseason, but I think we could see some changes in season. I think we could see a bit more personality with this team. With a lot of players coming from the World Baseball Classic, we could get a bit more production out of a guy like Austin Wells. Was letting that personality show during the tournament while still playing very good baseball. He was one of the best catchers in the tournament overall. The Yankees will still definitely be one of the better teams in baseball, but as a fan as well, I would have liked to see a bit more move, a bit more changes, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Still, Aaron Judge, Doug Harlow Stanton, Cody Bellinger, we can keep naming them, but they can help put this team on top. I'm curious though, what are your takes on New York baseball this season, and just what are your outlooks on the MLB as a whole as we approach opening day on Wednesday?
All right, welcome back to One on One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. Vanessa Kasuda here with Sophia Smith and Grace McCarran. It's time to talk about baseball. If you have a take about the WBC or the upcoming season, give us a call at 718-817-2750. I think we're going to start with the WBC first. If anybody missed it, the U.S. unfortunately lost to Venezuela. In my opinion, I felt it was a bit anticlimactic except for Bryce Harper's 2-run home run. I have a lot of thoughts about it. I'm very disappointed because it was probably one of the biggest chokes I've seen in a very long time. And it's frustrating because you basically assembled the Avengers.
Yeah.
And you guys still couldn't pull it off. And there were just some moves that I did not agree with. I don't think Alex Bregman should have been at third. I think it should have been Gunnar Henderson because, he literally hit a home run against the DR. Which the way that game ended was also crazy, which I think is going to be adding into the ABS argument a little bit more. Just because of how that game ended, which that game was also just one based off of luck. It was a very entertaining game. But Aaron Judge, once again, just did not perform like he should have. And, yeah, well, what are your thoughts on it, guys?
It's weird. I didn't really expect the U.S. to win the WBC. I thought it was going to be the DR. I didn't think that they would beat the DR. I also thought Japan could make a run for, the back-to-back.
Yeah.
They didn't do that either, but I mean, I don't really know. I don't think it's this massive, I don't know if I would call it a huge choke. I'm just, they did assemble the Avengers, but it also once you watched a few of their games, they just were not putting hits on the board.
No.
And it's Aaron Judge didn't really do all that maybe he should have done, but there were a lot of other guys there too who were not performing, and it kind of just showed itself at the end. And Venezuela is a great baseball team. They have some great, I would honestly argue that they have an underrated lineup. Nobody was really talking about them as potential winners. They have a lot of great players on that team. So I'm not stunned that this happened. Once the US got past the DR, I thought this is their title to lose. But I mean, it was a great tournament, great for the game, the way that this tournament played out.
Yeah.
That got so much attention. I remember the last WBC 3 years ago, when we had the Trout and Ohtani matchup when they were both still on the Angels. That was such a big deal. And then now, obviously, Mike Trout wasn't in it this year, but it was still it kind of got a little bit of that juice back.
Yep.
Which was great. I know there's some people who don't like the WBC because they're worried about injuries and they're worried about the time of the year that it takes place right before the season during spring training. Those are valid concerns, but I think it's a really fun tournament. And
I enjoyed it. I always enjoy it when it comes around. I feel like it kind of sneaks up on us, especially because we had the Olympics this year.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
we just got past. You know, it's kind of a bummer that we swept the hockey medals and did not win at our own pastime.
And also the fact that they walked into Miami wearing the U.S. men's hockey jerseys, which I thought that was like, I'm like, if they like, they're gonna go into this, and if they lose wearing those jerseys, that is absolutely pathetic.
Honestly, as soon as I saw them doing that, I was like, they're gonna lose. Like, I just was like, I can see this in my mind's eye. I also actually, while we're on the subject, I wanted to talk about Tarek Skubal.
Yeah, no, please, because I want to talk about it too. I don't know if you do too, Sophia. But
I did not love the way he approached the WBC. He's he's one of the top 2 pitchers in the league right now. So it's his prerogative whether he wants to participate in the WBC or not. I didn't love that he said, I'll pitch 1 game and then that's it, because he theoretically should have been starting this championship game. And Nolan McLean, you know, he's on my Mets. Like, I love him, and I'm really excited for him this season, but I don't know if you need him starting.
He shouldn't. I don't think he should have started that game.
I also don't think he should have been there at all, because it's literally his first full season with the big league squad. I'm like, I think maybe he should be in spring training the whole time, but you know, it's a great experience for him. I didn't think he should be starting the championship, and I didn't like that Tarek Skubal was kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I didn't love that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I do just want to say, like, my initial thoughts on this tournament. Obviously, like you said, Venezuela, kind of an underdog winner team. So, you know, good for them getting that win. Just major storylines, like, in terms of vibes with the DR and the US, very different.
Yeah.
And seeing all of the social media and everything about it, I was kind of like, the DR kind of has this like magic touch.
Yeah.
That I think I was very surprised that they didn't make it to the final. And, you know, obviously Judge had his offensive issues, but then also, like, as a captain, you have to wonder. I mean, you have to wonder, like, how, like, he just never seems to be able to do it.
Yeah.
He just never, and is he the reason that the U.S. was kind of very, like, it took a more, like, step back, laid back approach to team celebrations or, like, energy? Like, is that him? Is that the whole team? I don't know.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I wanted to talk about the celebration stuff. Like, the teams were so passionate about literally every little thing that happened.
Yeah.
The DR, crazy. Venezuela, crazy. Italy's taking shots of espresso in the dugout. Like, that's awesome. And then you got the U.S. in the back like this.
Yeah.
Literally just like, clapping, like, doing, like, a proper golf clap. Like, guys.
Yeah. And, like, I feel like with these best-on-best international tournaments, like, you always expect the most passion out of the players. It feels like this should be the biggest stage. I know this is not the Olympics, but, like, we did just see all of the hockey U.S. teams win, and I was kind of expecting the same thing of that. I love best on best tournaments because I love getting to see all the players, like, with different teammates and different like, it's refreshing. And so I feel like this tournament, I mean, again, not the Olympics, but it did kind of fall flat, just the way that like you said, anticlimactic, the way that the championship went.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you know, it just helped, you know, I think the reason why we just look forward to the WBC so much as baseball fans is because it's always very iffy with if baseball is going to be in the Summer Olympics. It wasn't in the last Summer Olympics. It was in Japan, though, but it really was not. It didn't reach its potential because of COVID, which that was really unfortunate, and it was the same with softball too, which I'm, you know, big softball watcher. It just, you know, it makes me wonder because it's just always this excuse of the, like, getting ready for the tournament. It's always like, or getting ready for the season, sorry. Finishing up spring training and making sure people aren't injured, all this stuff. So I'm like, all right, well, if that's the case, then, like, why are we doing this before the season starts? Part of me kind of, and this might be a hot take, part of me kind of wants to replace the All-Star game with this and have, like, a WBC break.
I don't
like how they did it with Four Nations.
Yeah, I don't really even think that that's that controversial. I think that's kind of the if they could figure out a way to make it, because obviously there's all of the, like, the group stage, and then it kind of goes on for a while. It goes on much longer than the All-Star break does. But, like, if they could figure out a way to condense it into those 4 days, or if they have to do the preliminary rounds
like now and then during the All-Star break
I
they
like
do
that.
like the playoff rounds.
I like that.
That's fine. I do like I think it's a valid thing to be afraid of injury. I mean Edwin
totally.
Edwin,
Yeah,
I'm like
that's
traumatized
probably
from last time.
that's
so-
probably the reason why everyone was so cautious this year.
Yeah.
You know, that's why Puerto Rico wasn't really up to par because everyone
Yeah,
was
because
so
the
scared of what was going to
insurance-
happen.
Right. Like Tarek Skubal, obviously I was just, critical of him, but he is going into a contract year. So if he goes pitches in the championship game, blows out his arm, like what's that going to do to his
And
next
he just went through
contract?
the whole arbitration thing, so he's like, "Oh, I'm way more worth.
Yeah.
I'm worth this instead of this."
Yeah.
And then gets injured. Then you're like,
Right.
All right, we just went through that whole process
and now
for
you
no
don't know
reason.
What you're getting when he's coming
Yeah.
back, and he's also probably going to get whatever team he goes to. He's going to get a huge contract, probably a historic contract for a pitcher.
Absolutely.
Like, it is a valid thing to do. I just think like if you're that worried and it's a valid thing, don't do it because it is like we talked about like playing for your country for a lot of these guys. Like we saw it with the DR, we saw it with the guys from Puerto Rico. And Venezuela as well. Like they really, like they've said, like this is more important to me than the World Series. I don't think any American player said that.
No, Judge said he thinks it's bigger than the World Series, which I'm just like,
well, then
I'm like, dude, I'm like, with all due respect, I don't think you can really say that because I feel like you need to win a World Series first before you have a take on that.
Yeah.
Because like you guys literally lost in the worst possible way against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So like. I wouldn't have said that, but that's Aaron Judge is different from me, so
But it's so like important to these guys to play for their countries because like Venezuela, these places are like they leave their home countries when they're like 16 and they come here and they build a life for themselves in the big leagues, and then they get to play for their country again. Like it's really special, and I do feel like there's some players who like maybe don't really. I don't want to accuse all of them of it, but like they don't really get it as much. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a different level for each of them. But I thought it was great to see like the DR team and Venezuela and all of them be like so like sobbing when Venezuela won. That was like really cool.
It was just the fans that were it warmed my heart a lot.
Loudest crowd that ballpark has ever seen in Miami.
Miami's never gonna be that loud again.
Probably ever will. They should always have the final in Miami. It was awesome.
But yeah, it's just I'm also just really excited because the regular season is back next week. The Yankees are playing against the San Francisco Giants Wednesday night.
What time is that game?
I think it's 8 p.m.
Okay.
It's going to be like light out in San Fran
right.
just because they're in San Fran. Yeah, so the Yankees look the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mets look totally different. If some people missed it, Jason Dominguez was optioned to AAA, which everyone's like, oh, well, he did great during spring training. Well, all right, no one's really going. Like, everyone's just, like, warming up, so it's not, like, the craziest, like, super competitive thing. And I'm not surprised because they re-signed Bellinger, re-signed Grisham, and they have Judge. So that's going to be the outfield. And I just felt, he wasn't playing up to his potential because he was what I like to call the Yankees purgatory, where he's kind of there with like
he doesn't have a spot.
Yeah, he doesn't have a spot. Escara is in there, sort of. Cabrera's in there, and same with him. Peraza was there too until he got traded to the Angels.
Yeah.
And it's always good to know like we have these people that are like in AAA or are in this little situation that can step up and play a role, but yeah, I mean, I think it's good because there was just so many things that happened last year that I'm like, all right, like I think he just needs to go down for a little bit and just, go from there. But
with the minimal changes that they have made, how would you compare this roster to last year's roster, like starting lineup?
I mean, well, okay, pitching much better because Garrett Cole is coming back. I saw him pitch the other day. I was so happy.
Yeah.
I'm like, my king is back. Max Fried is there. Rodon, I don't know if he's going to be back yet because he did have surgery over the offseason. Ryan Weathers is in there. We've got some really good options as far as the starting pitching goes. Fielding looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
There's no take. I just think the people that need to step up, Wells, like we know what you can really do.
Yeah.
Now we know what you can do. All right. Volpe's coming off of surgery, so I'm hoping he will have a better year. I always root for him because he went to my brother's school in Jersey, one of the all boys private schools.
Yeah.
So I always root for him. Ben Rice had a pretty solid year, so, I really want him to continue to play well. Bellinger's back, so it's like there's no really uncertainty there. Grisham came off of a very good year as well. Jazz needs to step up a little bit more, and then whatever's going on with third base needs to be figured out as well.
That's true. I'm not really clear on what's going on.
Yeah, but it's the same team.
Yeah, it's basically the same team. My question with the Yankees is obviously the big addition that they basically got is Garrett Cole coming back, but this is a tough division that they're in. Like, the Red Sox are going to be good.
Red Sox are going to be good. Toronto
staying
good.
Should be good.
Orioles are going to be very good now that they have Pete Alonso and they have that veteran.
Can't talk about it. But
person.
Yes,
I know you can't talk about it.
It's really
but
hard for me.
Yeah.
But yes, they are going to be good. And I really hope they're good. But this is a tough division, and I'm just like, I don't really know. Like, nothing stands out to me about the Yankees over all of those other teams.
I know. It's just
the
they can't.
rotation is great.
Right.
But
they just
the rest
can't
of them,
have that die out like they always do before and after the All-Star. Like, they can't have that July, August die out and really, like, screw themselves over like they have been the past few years. Like, they really need to just, it's just, like, it all comes down to consistency. And that's what's going to be their biggest weapon if they can make it work.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I just, I don't know.
Yep, so,
moved, but it's okay.
All right, that'll be all for the MLB. Next, we have women's sports. But before that, we're going to hear from Alex Diaz again about the CBA agreement. Don't go anywhere.
We have some big news out of the women's basketball world this week, and it was a long time coming. After 17 months of negotiation, the WNBA and its players' union have reached a verbal agreement on a new collective bargaining agreement in the early hours of Wednesday morning. We're talking more than 100 hours of face-to-face bargaining in the final week alone. And the money numbers, they are stunning. The salary cap jumps from $1.5 million to $7 million. The average salary goes from $120,000 to around $600,000, and then the supermax, that top tier served for stars like Asia Wilson, goes from $249,000 to $1.4 million. Here's the thing, those old numbers weren't me misspeaking. That was the reality for the best women's basketball players in the world. The players wore Pay Us What You Owe Us shirts at All-Star Weekend, and clearly they meant it. For the first time in league history, the salary system will be directly tied to a share of league revenue. To me, that's a structural change that matters the most long term. The 2026 season, the league's 30th, kicks off May 8th. There's still news ratification. There's still a busy offseason ahead with free agency and expansion draft, which we'll have you covered on All In, our women's sports podcast, but for now the deal is done. Women's basketball is growing fast. Now the paychecks are finally starting to match. My question for you is, what do you guys think this means for the W, its players, and the world of women's sports as a whole? I'll see you guys in May.
Welcome back into One-on-One. Again, if you want to call in with your questions and opinions, please do. Our number is 718-817-2750. 718-817-2750. Now, it has come to the time that you have all been waiting for, where we talk women's sports. It's the women's sports show, and you officially have the women's in sports here. I think we're all ready to go. And Alex just gave us a really great introduction to our conversation. She gave you guys kind of the rundown of what this CBA looks like. And I think we are just going to kind of talk about our opinions on what this means and what we kind of want out of this. I think this is really great, obviously, because they have been pushing for this for so long. There was a question of whether or not the season would even happen, considering the CBA hadn't been finalized yet or hadn't even been, like, agreed upon, just, like, physically. But you, of course, have finally got a draft, and it's been signed. And, of course, like, the next couple of weeks is when it gets finalized. But it is officially signed. There is something in writing now. It is ready to go. I mean, personally, I just think it's great because this past season you had, across the 25 regular season games, the W on ESPN averaged 1.3 million viewers, which was up a ton from the previous year, and it's marked the most watched WNBA season on its networks. And then throughout the postseason, the WNBA averaged 1.2 million viewers, which was up again by 6%, and marked the most watched WNBA postseason on ESPN networks to date. In just general, the postseason had more viewed since ever. literally ever. Literally ever. Literally ever.
And more views since ever.
More views since forever. The last time they had the same amount slash a significant amount of views was in 1999. That's insane. And that's pretty much like
Ever.
just basically ever. Like do we even count the 1900s? Like
No,
I don't know.
19.
Especially when it's been so long. So I guess I'm just wondering from your opinions what you think this means for not only the players but also us as viewers and what we get to see next for this league.
I think it's a long time coming, and I think that they were really able to capitalize on, recent celebrity and success that a lot of them are getting, especially like rookies and young players in this league. I think it's crazy. I love to tell everybody that like Caitlin Clark's revenue from last year and income was less than 1% of it was from the WNBA. She made like I think like I don't know like $18 million and like 40,000 were from the WNBA. And
Yeah. Speak
then
on it.
they're all like, oh really?
Yeah.
I'm like yeah, and like oh, like yeah,
Yeah.
They really were making that little. It's like people that like are big sports fans, like their minds like cannot comprehend that a professional athlete was making that little. Like they would like people thought it was like they were making like 100K, like 200K, and like that was low. And I'm like, no, you actually have to look at the numbers. Like they were making like legitimately $40,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just crazy. I think it's like a long time coming for women's sports in general, and I think it's hard for people to realize like how little female athletes get. And so just like the point that we're at now, we've come so far, but we also have so far to go. Like especially just looking at like how much you can make on an NFL contract and like literally be so bad at football.
Yeah.
And like not even touch the field.
Yeah. It also really bothers me when you do like tell people these stats and then they go, well, that's because nobody watches women's sports. I don't know if you've taken
Everyone
a look
watches
at
women's
Kate
sports.
Cox's t-shirt recently, but everyone watches women's sports. And the fact that you are yelling about women's sports shows me that you also do watch women's sports.
Yeah. And like that's
You're
the thing,
paying
it's
attention.
such a
Yeah.
conversation, and people are way more engaged in the conversation now. But like, there's a reason we're talking about it, and there's a reason that people weren't talking about it before. But like, since you are talking about it, like it is important to know all of these things.
The way some of them are talking about it is like you would think that they are paying the WNBA players out of their own pockets, that they are just so offended
I know.
that these women are making money that is way overdue. And like you think of players like Diana Taurasi, they never got to make that money. Like they never made it.
I wish this weren't the conversation that we were having about the WNBA. Like any conversation about how much these women are being paid and, how much they're worth to, the population and all of that. However, I do think it's positive that we are talking about them.
Yeah.
I think it generates, even the bad viewership is generating viewership.
Yeah.
It's
Any
still
publicity
getting
is good
numbers.
publicity.
It's still getting publicity. It's still getting these people paid. Like, these women have brand deals on brand deals on brand deals, and they're making money in a different way, and that's because people are talking about them, whether it's in a positive way or in a negative way. All press is press.
Yeah.
Like, bad press is press. So, I don't think it's a bad thing to have that.
No, not at all. And I think it's crazy, like what you said, how people are like personally taking offense at like I am paying these contracts. Like I don't care. Like there's so much money in this space to go around that it's like why would I care that you're making money? Like
Exactly. Like you would think that they're like personally writing them a check. By the way, they're so offended by this.
yes, 100%.
Right? One of my favorite parts of this deal, however, is the maternity and family benefits part of it. Now they have full paid maternity leave, stipends for childcare, fertility and adoption support, which is just really sweet. Like, I like that.
My favorite thing is the season expansion of this. Under the previous CBA, 44 games was the maximum allowed, but now under this new CBA, the 2027-28 schedule will expand to up to 50 games, and then the number can go up to 52 games from 2029 to 2032. And it's obviously a small and slow increase, but that's an increase. And I think that's important because, again, a longer season is what's going to keep them not having to find a job during the off season, which I think a lot of women were having to do. But I do love Unrivaled, so I'm not even mad about it. All right. such a good thing that we had all of that happening, but now we're going to turn into what's really going on right now, and that is Women's March Madness, which we were talking about earlier. Hasn't been that exciting yet, but it's coming. It's coming. I can feel it.
You can feel it in the air.
I can feel it in the air.
That's good.
There are going to be some upsets soon. There have been 0 upsets. I have to reiterate this. There have been 0 upsets so far, which is crazy.
Yeah,
we saw so many upsets with
I
the
know.
men's,
Yeah.
and then the women's happens, and you're like, wait, why is every number 1 seed winning? Which is technically how it should go, but I think it's just really entertaining when you see a 13 seed kind of come and overtake them. But currently, there are 3 games going on. Ohio State is playing Howard, and they're up 75-54. Louisville is up 50 on Vermont, 36, and South Carolina is up 17 on Southern U, which has 4. And we get to see a lot more basketball today. UConn plays their first game today, which is very exciting. But I really want to hone in on 2 games that we saw yesterday, which was the Texas Tech versus Villanova game. Number 7 Texas Tech took number 10 Villanova down 57-52. It was a pretty close game. And I want to review this a little bit because these are the kind of games like the 7 and 10, the 8 and 9, like the 6 and 11 is where you kind of see those like upsets, I think, the most. And this one, I really thought Villanova was going to win. Honestly, going into it, I think I put them for my bracket.
I did. Mm-hmm.
You did too?
Yeah, that was an upset. I saw that was a big possibility.
Mm-hmm. But unfortunately for Villanova, Bailey Maupin scored 7 of her 17 points in the final 3 minutes, and Texas Tech was able to hold on to it. Danae Fritz was also scored 13 points for Texas Tech, and Texas Tech went 7 of 15 from 3-point range. And they had 44%, which was 18 of 41. So they just like outscored Villanova completely. It wasn't like a huge difference. It was just that they were outperforming them when it came to scoring offensively.
Yeah, one thing, however, that like kind of stood out to me even about this game was that Basco, I think that's how you say it, she still got 21 points. So even though they really couldn't carry that through the finish line, like there were such efficient offensive plays happening for this team, and I put them in my bracket. I thought they were gonna pull this off, but can't win them all.
You can't win them all. That's the thing. I am genuinely always rooting for an upset. Like I
Always.
I love it.
I love it. Like
Even
I literally
even
love
if
it.
I put the higher seed for winning in my
I'm
bracket,
still happy if the
always-
lower seed.
Yeah.
Right now, Michigan is playing St. Louis, and I have Michigan going to the Final Four, and I want St. Louis to win because, like, that's just exciting.
Yeah.
It's A10 basketball.
It's
like, I have to
exciting.
root
It's more
for them.
fun, and like that's like that's just like getting these schools that are smaller and have less money and have less revenue, like them being able to compete in the like big leagues and like in March Madness when anything can happen. I think that's what's so special about not just like sports in general, but specifically college athletics. Like we all just like going through the recruiting process and like getting to be on these teams and stuff, like getting an opportunity at a school. And then, like, you're playing a school that probably didn't want you, like SLU upsetting Georgia. Like, you're playing a school that didn't, they probably didn't want you. Like, they probably told you that you couldn't go there, and then you just beat them, and that's so awesome. And that's what I love
That's
about
a really
March.
good way to, like, think about it, too.
And it's like, and you didn't want me, and I just kicked your butt.
That must be, like, top
And then
10,
they come
top
calling.
10
Yeah.
feelings. Top 10 feelings, I'm sure.
No.
Another upset I was hoping for was number 10 Tennessee over number 7 NC State. But NC State beat Tennessee 76-61. And I think the biggest storyline that has come out of it was their head coach, Tennessee's head coach, Kim Caldwell. Her post-game conference was, everyone was kind of like, oh, whoa. She did a little bit of like blaming her players, and then she did a lot of blaming herself, and it was kind of just like, what's going on here?
Yeah, like not the most tasteful way to go out.
Definitely
like
not.
I
No.
just think everyone's playing that game, everyone's on the court wanting to win, and kind of going out there and speaking like that on you should be putting your team forward. And I understand if you're like, they didn't execute the way we needed them to play today, but it is your job to make sure that that's executed, and it's your job to be able to rein that back in, and you can't go and sit there and like speak so badly about them.
Yeah, she's done it before too. I think when they played South Carolina, and then they asked Dawn Staley, they're like, as a young coach, what advice would you give her? And she was like, I wouldn't have approached it that way. Like I wouldn't have maybe I thought it, maybe I talked to my team that way, but I would never go to the media and say that. So it doesn't really seem like she took that advice. Personally, if Dawn Staley gave me advice, I would probably take it.
Absolutely. It was also just like hot and cold. It was like she was like, "Oh yeah, it's my team's fault. Oh, but it's also my fault." I think she said, "I can't put it on roster construction. I got to put it on me, right? I've always been able to recruit players and get them to run through a wall for me and get them to play hard. I wasn't able to do that, and the one thing I can put my finger on is that I build on what we want to do first, and then how can I blame anyone else from doing it?" But then she did blame the team. So it was kind of just confusing, and a lot of people online have just been saying she needs to be fired.
100%. And talking about recruiting and stuff, like if I saw a coach speaking like that, I'd be like, oh, this is not a program I want to be a part of.
Terrible culture.
And it's also just like, this happened, the press conference in January when they played South Carolina, she was just like, my players quit. They didn't want it. They quit on me. They quit on each other. And then Dawn comes out and like, Dawn, like, would you have said this? And she's like, no, like I back my players, you know, if I have a problem with any of them, like it's handled behind closed doors. What I talk to them in pregame and postgame huddles is behind closed doors, you know. Maybe that is something like a drive or like ambition issue is something maybe we're having. I would never display that because it just shows there's cracks in your team. And when you're coaching like a dynastic history, is that the right word? Like dynasty history of a
yeah, I know what you're going
like
for.
a program like that, to just like, I don't know.
I agree, but they also like, not that we knew that it was going to be a tough game for them, but they haven't won a game since February 12th, I believe, if I'm correct. They haven't had a single win in March, and I think it was an 8-game losing streak. This is their longest losing streak. I think it's said in like modern time. I don't know what they're really qualifying as modern time, but that's since February 12th. That's a really long time. Like,
so long. How do you make the tournament if you haven't won in that long?
That's what I was confused about. But also
as a 10 seed, right? Of course, it's because of the conference
and history.
But still,
I don't even know if there's ever been a women's March Madness without Tennessee.
You haven't won in over a month.
Yeah. Like early February. That's a really long time. But like that's also a really long time that like we've known for 8 games that things aren't going right, and like
there were no adjustments.
Anything can change in March. Anything can change in March, and the fact that you're not making adjustments and you're just trying to rely on like what's kind of been working-ish to get us to this point, that's just like not a way to operate.
No.
And it didn't feel like her team was not playing well either. Like she had Talisha Cooper had 24 points. Z Spearman had 10 points. Like, there were obviously things that could have been improved upon, but I also think that it was like the team didn't play bad.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like at the end of the day, it's like you need to be able to put your 5 best players on the floor at that specific time. And if that's not happening and the plays aren't working, then you need to switch it up, and that's on you.
Yeah.
It's not on your team. Your team was clearly playing hard.
I think like they're probably going to go in a different direction. I think that when, you know, taking over that program is just like so hard, and I don't think it's working. I mean, what I think would be so cool is, I don't know if she's into coaching or she really wants to go with her media career, but like Candace Parker coming back to coach Tennessee, like, you know, I don't know if she'd want it. I don't know, like, I know she does a lot of mentoring and training. I don't know if she's like ever coached before, and she does seem to be really involved in sports media right now, which is awesome. But I do think that they need to head another direction, and I see them doing that. I don't see them being a program that with that like prolific of like a successful history, having that much giving that much time to like adjust. I think it's probably like you got to come in and show that you can like fit this role or you're out. I think it's just that cutthroat of a job.
100%.
Now we have a slated day of games, of course. There's so much going on, so much madness, and I feel like we have to start.
Are you mad? When in March?
I feel like we have to start with Iowa State and Syracuse because that's an 8 and 9 matchup. We've got to make some predictions about where we think this is going to go. I think we should each say our prediction and give a little reason to why. I'm going to put down Iowa State. I don't think this is going to be an upset, even though it's an 8 and a 9, so it's like, how big of an upset would it be? I think Iowa State is going to take this one. They're led by Audie Crooks, who is putting up 25.5 points and 7.8 rebounds per game. That is insane. Especially for a team that is not a number 1 seed. Like, you're a number 8 seed and you have someone on your team that is that strong. Like, that's truly amazing. And they're ranked 12th total in points scored, which means, like, I believe that this is going to be a high-scoring game on their end, at least. And I also think, like, their field goal percentage is also 9th in the country. And that, to me, is, like, their offensively, they're going to be on top here. It's just whether or not they can put up the defensive numbers.
I'm gonna go Syracuse for literally no logic. Literally for no logic. I just feel like it. Blue and orange is my favorite color combination, so that also helps naturally.
Right.
And they're the lower seed, so I'm just like I'm going underdogs today, and zero logic behind that. But I hope they win because I just said it on there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a huge Audie Crooks fan too, but I do feel like there's gotta be like an upset, and I don't think that in the women's game right now there's going to be a massive upset, so I do think it's going to be those 8-9 matchups, maybe a 11-6. So I'm like, I feel like it's got to happen at one point, and I have a feeling that it could be this game because I do think that Syracuse can kind of hang with Iowa State. Plus I like University of Iowa, just so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also going to take Iowa State just because I think that offensively they're more efficient than a Syracuse defense is efficient. And I kind of like hope. I feel it.
Oh, but we're feeling different things. So
yeah.
We're sharing the same mic and we're feeling different things.
We're going to check in. We're going to check in later and just see what the vibe was.
See what we're feeling later.
See what the vibe was.
Get
All
back
right.
to us.
We have to talk about one more game really quickly. I want to hear your opinions because it is the A10. We have number 11 Rhode Island, who has been phenomenal all season, and number 6 Alabama. This is another SEC A10 matchup. This is going to be an insane game, and I absolutely am taking Rhode Island. I think they can win this.
Yes.
I absolutely think they can win this game. If I were to look at the entire bracket, this is the one upset that I am very confident on.
This seems this just seems very doable to me, and I also just think the A10's underestimated. I think a school like Alabama is going to kind of like go in and think that they're good, and I think Rhode Island's going to come in hot, and I think it's going to be a very good game, and I just think that Alabama is not going to be ready for what the Rams have to say.
Totally agree.
Thanks so much.
Plus, go Rams. Rams.
There are 3 Rams in the A10, and it needs to change. Though. Someone's got to. It's insane. There's you know that outfit where it's like someone's got to change. Like someone's got to change. Like there's 3.
One of us has been here since.
One of us is the original. Look it up.
So
Look it up. Which one?
All right, we're taking Rhode Island. We cannot wait to watch the rest of these games for Women's March Madness. Now we are going to cut it to a break where you are going to get to hear our very own Mary Hannah Gallagher and Bobby Chaffardini talk about the Indy 500.
Hi, I'm Isabella, and I'm here with some of the rowing girls. Hi, I'm Catherine Schmidt-Palumbo, and I'm here with the women's rowing team at Fordham. And it's National Women and Girls in Sports Day, so I want to learn about your experience as a female athlete at Fordham.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a group of girls that can make me push the hardest, are always there for me, and it's the way that I can really truly be the best person I am. You know, all of these girls around, we work our hardest and we do it together, and it's really incredible.
Absolutely, and it's National Women and Girls in Sports Days. So what's today been like, especially with all of the young girls? How do you want to inspire them? What do you want them to take away from the day? And how do you just like hope to relay your messaging to them?
Yeah, absolutely. Rowing is a hard sport, but I think it's really important for young girls to know that they can absolutely do hard things, and I think hopefully seeing us here being positive, pushing them to work hard, you know, can hopefully inspire them to keep pushing hard in their athletic adventures and maybe join a rowing team of their own, maybe ours.
Maybe yours. Thank you so much for your time today. Good luck with the rest of the season, and have a great day with the girls. Thanks.
Back here on One New York's longest running sports call-in show. I'm your host, Bobby C., joined now by co-host Aaron McAtee and Mary Hannah Gallagher for the latest edition of IndyCar Weekly, where we get a chance to talk about the latest and greatest from IndyCar. Been a super start to the season, 3 straight weeks, 3 straight races, 3 straight different winners of those races. I'm going to start with Mary Hannah Gallagher. What did you think of the action from the streets of Arlington?
That's such a fun course, especially because courses like that get me really excited because it's kind of what I think F1 is trying to do with bringing the sport to the fans by having it more integrated in Arlington as opposed to trying to flock fans to the sport. So I love seeing tracks like that. But it was also really fun kind of to watch Honda take the sweep when it comes to the top 4 spots in Arlington. I mean, if you're a Chevy team, you kind of like, you can't just look at the points anymore. You have to look at the data, and you have to see kind of how Honda is really becoming so dominant in tracks like this. And excited to see if that becomes more of a pattern when it comes to city courses, as we also have the DC one coming up later this season.
Yeah, really exciting, I think, for IndyCar to have some new tracks. And Aaron, I mean, first time, obviously, in Arlington, and such an incredible collaboration between the Dallas Cowboys, the Texas Rangers, and IndyCar. Something new on the circuit for IndyCar. I know analyst Will Buxton had talked about, as Mary pointed out, a track that was very similar to some of the F1 tracks in terms of the performance that the drivers had going on in IndyCar.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to see, someone like Jerry Jones involved with the series, involved with the racetrack. And, as Marianne said, at Arlington, Honda sweep, Kirkwood, really no surprise, I think there, no surprise with really the other 2 races as well. Obviously we knew Palou was going to be, dominant this year as well. And, it was good to see Andretti, be dominant at Arlington. It was great to see Will Power, starting out, I think, a pretty good foot with a new team, being competitive. And, I thought it was a great race.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I mean, obviously, we returned to the series in St. Pete to kick things off a few weeks ago. Alex Palou jumps out, wins the first race of the season. He gets knocked out in Phoenix in race number 2, but comes back on the podium in the streets of Arlington. So he's very much, of course, in the thick of things when it comes to the standings. The 3-time defending champion looking for his 5th championship, 4 championships the last 5 years. What are the chances of Alex Palou returning to that spot at the top, Mary Hannah, or do you see maybe someone like Kyle Kirkwood challenging him this year?
I think that Kirkwood is really giving him a run for his money, obviously, but I also think kind of what we know about Palou is he doesn't let other people kind of get to him when it comes to races like that. I mean, a DNF in Phoenix would have broken most drivers, I think. I think it really would have rattled them, but he showed up in Arlington and he pretty calmly, I think, took that 2nd place spot. So I don't think he's going to get rattled by Kirkwood's hot start. I think he's going to keep on kind of an upward trajectory. But, I mean, he's led 75 laps this year, and that's more than anyone else. So I think he's really controlling pace. He just kind of needs to stop getting caught up, I think, in other people's messes, kind of what we saw from him in Phoenix.
I mean, he's clearly been the best of the best in the series the last 3 years, and you can make a case for him to really just dominate year in and year out. Kyle Kirkwood was a driver who at the end of last season really put together some good races. He actually kind of threatened for a little while, but then, of course, Alex Palou just ran away with things. Here's Kyle Kirkwood after his victory in the streets of Arlington.
Last year at Long Beach, you held off Palou to go win that race. This one, you've run him down 7 seconds at one point is what you were behind him to run him down to get this win. I mean, what kind of a statement win do you feel like this was?
I mean, it's a statement on how good we are on street courses, right? We're able to do this at a few street courses, and it's incredible to see that we're able to do it at another one, and we're adding street courses to our calendar. A lot of it's due to this guy walking behind me right now, and the engineers and the group that he's been able to rally together to give us this performance. Right? It's not just me out there driving one of these cars. It's all the hard work that goes into one of these street courses is why we have the performance that we have, and that's the the reason why we had the pole, finished 1, 3, and 4, right? And the pole is always there. So.
Aaron, obviously Kyle Kirkwood really juiced up about his victory in Arlington. Some momentum here, but now the IndyCar Series taking a bit of a break. Only about 50 days out from the Sanzio Grand Prix, and it feels like the Indy 500 is just around the corner.
Yeah, it really does, and it really is. It's the same feeling every year. Obviously, I live very close to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I've been around the track and the sport pretty much my entire life. And this time of year, always gets kind of your juices flowing. And yeah, I think Kirkwood. If I were to have an early pick for the 500, Kirkwood would definitely be on that, just based off kind of Andretti's performance seems to be pretty strong this year, and I think Kirkwood has shown the past couple years that he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. So I definitely think he would be someone to watch during the Indy 500 for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that if we're going with early picks, he's definitely up there for me too. I think that he's got a really good momentum going right now, and honestly, seeing that from drivers this early on in the season it's really fun to watch that upward trajectory. But I don't think that we can uncount Paolo. I think that it's going to be a real competition between the two for that win in Indy.
Yeah, I'm getting a sense that Andretti looks like they're locked in so far this season. Again, I know it's only 3 races of 18 for the entire season, still very, very early. But when you compare how they've done with Penske and Chip Ganassi, which those two teams have been the premier teams in the series the last few years, you get a sense that they're coming on strong, that they really have a very deep squad. And I would certainly look for Kyle Kirkwood to be a serious contender. Same thing with some of our other top competitors here in the standings. You take a look, it seems like so far a bounce back season for Joseph Newgarden. Of course, he picks up the win in Phoenix in the top of the standings. And Pato O'Ward, even despite not having any race victories so far through the first 3 races, he, of course, is still in the top 4 in the standings. I would expect to see Kyle Kirkwood, Joseph Newgarden, Pato O'Ward, and, of course, Alex Blow as 4 of the top contenders for the Indy 500.
But the beauty with Indy 500 is so unpredictable. I think we've all seen that you can predict something, but if one driver's dominant all year, doesn't mean they're going to be dominant. They may be dominant at every other racetrack, but Indy 500 is different. We've seen people like Elio Castroneves come in, only race of the season and be somewhat dominant. Obviously, he won it with a brand new team. A couple years ago. And I think that's the beauty with the Indy 500 is it's so unpredictable. And Pato, though, there's some drivers that are always good at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Someone like Dan Whelan was always successful there, no matter what team he was with. And, someone like Elio is always going to be successful there. And Pato seems to always have success. And the pattern, it seems like with a lot of these people, is if they're always very successful there, at some point, they usually end up getting their win. And I think Pato's win is definitely in the next 5 years, if I were to guess.
Kind of what you were talking about with Pato, I think that he has been really consistent this season. Him and Kirkwood are the only 2 drivers that have finished in the top 5 in every race this season. So it's really fun to see that. But I'm a little concerned about kind of him getting tired. I mean, he is a reserve driver for McLaren F1 right now. And I think that they're going to have him working hard on that simulator, given the way the McLaren is racing right now in Formula One. And so I think that as we get kind of into the May to June stretch of the IndyCar calendar, that he might fall off a little bit. And I'm a little worried about that for him. But right now, he's pretty consistent, and really curious to see if he does end up falling off later on.
Maybe a hot take there, Aaron. I don't know.
I know Pato was definitely dealing with some stuff a couple years ago with McLaren and with contracts and, trying to be an F1 driver. And I think it did kind of affect him in a way. So, yeah, no, I agree with her. I think it'll be interesting to see.
And speaking of announcements and maybe some drivers that have had success at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, some news this week from IndyCar that we've got a couple of former winners that'll be back in the race this year. The Drive for 5 for Elio Castroneves continues. He'll be back in the race for the 2026 Indy 500. Takuma Sato, who has won 2 Indy 500s, will be looking for his 3rd. Your thoughts on the two old guys. As the old guy here in this conversation, I'm always excited to talk about drivers that are still going fast, pushing the age of 50. Elio now is 50. He'll be 51 by the time the Indy 500 rolls around, and Takuma Sato is 49 years old. Two of the elder statesmen in the series. Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, those are two guys that they really, people talk about how hard it is to just do the Indy 500 and no other races. And it is, but for someone who has as much experience there and successful as Elio and Takuma, I think no matter how old they are, and as long as they're still in shape, they're going to be successful there.
Yeah, I think that both of them, obviously, they have a lot of experience under their belt. I think that going back into a race as strenuous as IndyCar can be on your body isn't something that I'm sure they've taken lightly. I'm sure that they're prepared for kind of the taxingness of the Indy 500, but also it's undeniable that Sato, no matter his age, is arguably still one of the bravest passers when it comes to an oval track.
Yep.
And I think that it'll be really exciting to watch kind of his physical abilities pair with that ability to overtake.
Wouldn't count out Sato, wouldn't count out Castro Neves, but it is certainly possible that we could see Alex Palou winning it again this year. He, of course, has been so good the last 3 years and finally broke through and won the Indy 500. Well, that's all the time that we have here on IndyCar Weekly. Wanted to thank MHG and Aaron McAtee. Of course, I'm Bobby C. Tune in every week for the latest IndyCar Weekly here on WFUV 90.7 FM.
Welcome back to what has been renamed All In, New York's longest running sports call-in show. Gabby, Lydia, Grace, and I are back to say farewell. But before we do that, we want to make a super quick shout out to Sláinte Fordham Irish Dance Team, who is having their Irish night tonight at, yes, big round of applause for them. They are having their annual Irish night at 7 o'clock in the Fordham Prep Theater, and if you're around, you should be there. Tickets are free, and you can buy a t-shirt from me. And
me.
And you, yes, obviously. And before,
Sales.
Duh, that major's coming in handy. And before we say farewell, ladies, name a woman in sports.
I just want to shout out my screensaver. That's both Kate Cox and Hope Nolan, or else I was going to get in big trouble. But my favorite women in sports, other than you guys, is probably Molly Walker, Michelle Gingras.
Love that.
Me next. I'm gonna go just because I'm thinking like broadcasters right now. I'm gonna shout out Monica McNutt.
Oh, love that. Yeah. Obvious choice for me here. I gotta go Judy Batista, my mother.
Hey, Mom, Miss Batista.
Hi, Mom. I don't know if she's watching. They were going furniture shopping earlier, so I don't know. But hi, Mom. Love you. You're the best.
Mine's gonna go Madison Booker, hook 'em horns to the final
Madison Beer.
No.
Yeah.
Well, is she a woman in sports? She could count.
Yeah,
I mean, if you really think about it, she could be. Yes.
She totally could.
I mean, then I would say like Haley Seinfeld.
Yes.
Exactly. See, now we're
we're cooking
we
with
can say
gas.
some Libby Dunn. We can maybe say some like other random names that we can throw in there. We could say Kate Upton.
Oh.
Hey.
Yes.
And with Kate Upton, that will be a wrap for the 4th annual women's show today. Behind the Glass, honorary woman, freshly 21. We sang happy birthday to him earlier, and it is because of him we have spring now. It's Kurt Sipple. Yep, everybody, round of applause. And I personally want to say thank you to all of the women who joined me and my fellow seniors on this show, as it is our last one. Gonna name them out. Stay tuned for your name. Gabby Price, Lydia Perner, Grace McCarron, Hope Nolan, Kate Cox, Sophia Smith, Maggie Danahy, Izzy Randazzo, Abby Crisofaro, Emmy Leonardi, and Phoebe Schlosser, Vanessa Cadosa, Mary Hannah Gallagher, Mary Hawthorne, Alex Diaz from abroad, might I mention.
That's dedication.
Yeah. That is dedication. We heard some great stuff from her. We love her. We miss her. We cannot wait to see her in May. And obviously, Bobby Chaffardini's here, our very own sports director.
Shout out, Bobby.
What a guy. He has had a full Saturday ahead of him. And just for all of the beautiful women that are also watching the show, thanks for tuning in. All of our moms, maybe, aunts, grandmas, relatives, every woman on the planet Earth. Thank you for being a woman. Yep, you too.
I forgot to say that one of my favorite women in sports is Will Cooley.
Oh, then that.
Okay.
Then my favorite women in sports is Fernanda Mendoza. Do y'all have any other favorite women in sports that are also men?
Matt Barzell.
Yeah? Tyler Kulik.
There you go.
See, we've got a really good lineup right here.
Yeah.
Like a
Shout out the graphic potentially.
yeah, like look at them. They're super cute. These are our boys, and there's been
like
our
right
boys.
here, perhaps. I
Maybe,
don't know if
maybe
it's on
we don't
video
know.
production,
We
but,
don't
like,
really
right
know.
here.
Right here, our boys, our boys. But thank you to everybody who tuned in, who was in the studio, putting in the work into this show. Has not been an easy job, and I'm so glad that my final one-on-one was with you guys.
First
and
and final.
First and final. And this was a great show.
One and
Maybe
done.
maybe I'll do
That's
another.
great.
Be
back
for the senior show. Maybe I'll do another.
That's-
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Tease.
Tease.
Stay
Yeah.
tuned.
Oh, stay tuned, guys.
Subtle foreshadowing.
Subtle foreshadowing. Oh my
What
god.
comes next?
Yeah, we don't know. But you can find out when you tune in next week on One-on-One, New York's longest running sports call-in show. It won't be all-in version, but it'll still be good. And that is a production of WFUV Sports.